the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories of the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is my brother, Sarge McCluskey. What's going on, Sarge?
Long time no talk. What's up?
Well, it's been a week. It's only been a week.
Yeah,
Has it been longer than that?
Time travel.
Time travel.
I was upset that we didn't. I'm upset that we didn't get to play the Halo.
Oh, shooting the shit with Sarge this week. Yeah, I get it. I played a couple of games. We'll get to that. On today's show, Sarge, we're going to be talking about the Xbox Direct that just happened earlier today.
Direct.
They had 4 games they showed. Really good. I was excited, and I wasn't expecting anything. Maybe that's why I was excited. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Call of Duty. We're going to talk about Warner Brothers today. We're going to be talking about developers of Battlefield. Say something. We're going to talk about rumor, new Avengers game in development. I think they're already going to fuck it up, Sarge. I think they're already going to fuck it up, and we haven't even started yet. All right. We're going to talk about Dragon Age Veilguard. Underperformed. Not a surprise. We're going to talk about 6 new Marvel rival heroes leaked, with 5 more from X-Men. We'll talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about GeForce Now game streaming is sold out. That's right. You heard me correctly. GeForce Now, the streaming service on the cloud, is sold out in certain regions. You cannot sign up and get it. We're going to talk about Bungie reportedly wanted to make single-player games. And that's about it. Oh, and Respawn. Here's a story actually I brought up for you specifically, Sarge. A couple weeks, maybe a couple months ago, we were talking about Star Wars like an RTS game, and supposedly, rumored, it's claimed, okay, that Respawn Entertainment is working on a Star Wars RTS game. So,
all right, so let's back up a little bit. What is Respawn known for?
Well, Respawn did Zampella worked on the Call of Duty games. They've done not Valorant, Apex Legends.
Yeah.
They did Titanfall.
Yep.
They've done Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor.
Yep.
So they have some good games.
Okay. And what is this game?
It's an RTS. We don't know much about it.
Right.
Right. We just know it's in Star Wars, and we know it's RTS.
Yes, but you're talking about a team that does nothing but first person and third person action games, and they're going to do an RTS.
That's correct.
Man, we are reaching into the bottom of the barrel for people to make an RTS game.
I mean, that's what it is, right?
I mean, did Apex finally did their studio just say, yeah, you know what?
Well, no. Apex has been on a downward spiral for 1 year. They've lost.
I know that, but did the studio just say, you know what? Fuck it, let's make a different game?
I guess.
All right.
The way I think about it is EA was like, hey, because they own Respawn, right? They're like, hey, you guys want to work on a Star Wars game? They're like, sure. Is it going to be Battlefront 3? They're like, oh, no, we're not doing Battlefront 3. No, we want you to make a Star Wars RTS game, something you're known for. Be like, can we make a Battlefront 3? Oh, no, we don't want you to make a Battlefront 3.
We want you to make a Star Wars game, but an RTS. But we don't make RTSs. You'll be fine.
You'll be
fine.
Don't worry about it.
Talking about it earlier today, you were talking about how we never got a Battlefront 3, but we did get a Battlefront 3. Because if you look at the series as it unfolded over the years, 1 and 2 were made. Okay.
Yeah.
And they redid 1 and 2 again. See, now that's not how that works.
Yeah, one and two, and 1 and 2 does not make 3.
That's right. So what really happened is you got 1 and 2, and then you got 3, and then you got 4. Because Battlefront 2, the second version of it, is the best version of all the Battlefronts with the most options.
Well, yeah, you could say it was 1, 2, 3, 4. You could say that. Yeah. Well, great. I want 5. Can we get Battlefront 5?
I mean, I think 2 as it is with the Kyber mod, I think that's your game. That's it.
Brain says Apex has been dropping and PUBG has doubled over the past year, over 800,000 concurrent daily. I didn't know that. I did know about Apex dropping, but I didn't know about PUBG doubling over the last year. So Generation X Gaming is a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. We're here Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on 30 NSG. We do about between 45 and 48 shows a year out of 52. That's not bad. Okay, it all depends on if you're out of town or whatnot. But you can constantly, and we can always guarantee you we're here on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you don't want to watch us live here, you can always listen to us or watch us after the fact on this channel in the VOD. On iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm. Hey, get this, Sarge. Someone sent me an email. It's probably full of shit, but someone sent me an email, and they said that...
And it said you won some money from a prince in Saudi Arabia.
It said it showed where we're rated of Generation X gaming content, okay? And it showed all these other podcasts with Generation X titles and the Generation X Wing and X Wing, whatever. There's all these podcasts out there, right?
Yeah, there is.
And on this specific site, it said that we're in the top 10. And I was like, oh, okay.
From Guatemala.
No, worldwide. Worldwide for Generation X gaming topic. Okay. Right? And we're higher than 10. We're higher than 8. We're higher than 6. We're in the top 5 of Generation X gaming topic, like shows. We're 4 in the world.
So then I guess we have to start talking about more Generation X stuff then.
I don't know if we have to talk about that.
I think that would be better.
This is why I'm not excited, though, because it's very...
Why can't you be excited?
That's how I am, right? Because they specifically said...
Guatemala likes you. Let's just be happy.
I mean, we were top 3 in Guatemala.
No, it was the Philippines.
It was the Philippines.
It was the Philippines.
Yeah. We do get good viewership or listenership, you know? But it was very funny.
Guys who are really high looking
you
for
guys are in the top 10 of Generation X gaming topics. I was like, okay. That's like we're number 1 at the box office. You know, it's the same shit. It's the same shit.
I'm kind of excited.
Are you?
Yeah.
Here, let me see if I could. Let me find. I
think that's kind of cool.
Let me find the email.
I didn't even know we were in a category. I thought we were just some guys on the internet screaming.
That's believe me, we're just guys on the internet. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
Yes, we are men.
Yeah. Let's see. That's verified.
My name's Barbara. I'm from Louisville.
Let me see if I could find it. I might have deleted it. I don't even know.
You were so thrilled about it, you deleted it.
Oh, here it is.
You got to be more positive. Bro.
Generation X Gaming featured in FeedSpot's top 40 Generation X or Gen X podcasts. Okay, so it's Generation X Gaming podcast, or not gaming podcast, just Generation X podcasts in general. And we are on a list. Let me bring this up.
I'm not going to start wearing Michael Jackson hats and a halter top.
Number 1.
If we think I'm trying to push this forward,
number 1
we might have to discuss some more Generation X stuff.
Gen X Talks is number 1. Gen X Talks. Mm-hmm. Okay, number 2 is Get Off My Lawn, which is Get Off My Lawn Gen Xer. Okay. The third one is Gen X Grow Up Podcast. Okay. Don't know what this is, right? It is what it is.
Yep.
Okay. And then we are 4th at Generation X Gaming. And after us is the Gen X Files, then Gen X Reverb. Then we have Generation X Wing Podcast, which is a Star Wars podcast. Okay.
Well, they should definitely be doing better than us.
Then we have Gen X Photography. Then we have Caregiving.
That's about
Gen
porn.
X Style.
Gen X Photography is about porn.
Yeah. Caregiving Gen X Style is just throw a person in a room and give them a Pop-Tart, and they're good to go. And then we have Gen X Playback is in the top 10. So there you go.
I mean, I'm actually kind of happy about it. I'm glad it's better than being on a Deadpool.
That chat.
It's better than that.
You should feel special because you're listening to the top 4.
Right, you got us there.
Yeah, top 4 Gen X podcast out there. I didn't even submit this for this. I don't have an idea. They actually only surveyed like 1,000 people, and that's what we got.
1,000 people is enough.
That's right. That's right.
Right. Your sample size is supposed to be. I think a proper sample size is supposed to be 3,000. I think is what they tell you.
No, it's 30.
That's incorrect.
30 to 100.
A proper sample size is not 30.
Proper is way more than 3,000.
There's
11 million that article I read this afternoon. 11 million game developers. They interviewed 3,000, and they're like,
"Here we go. Now I got to look something up." Here we go.
We looked it up earlier today.
Yeah, it didn't say 30.
It did. It was 30 to 100. Robert Jones, if you're here, he is. Right? What did it say? It said 30 to 100 people. You can do a valid survey with 30 to 100 people. That's what it said. Robert Jones says, what I'm hearing is 9 other boomers, but Gen X in their title. You know what? There's over 100 podcasts with Gen X in it, and we're 4. You could put that in your pipe and smoke it. This absolutely means nothing, really, but it's just fun to say that we're 4th in the world of Gen X podcasts.
I'm happy. I think that's kind of cool.
I told you. I told it was 1,000, but Google said 30. I just read what I read what it said. It said 30. Family Feud uses what like 30 people? No, they 100 people. 100 people is the survey on Family Feud. We surveyed 100 people, and everyone said top 4 answer on the board is Gen X podcast.
It's around 1,000. It's around 1,000. 1,000
Okay.
people is still a proper number, not 30.
Still way too low.
I know someone was probably just joking with you because you.
No, it wasn't. I looked it up. It was on Google.
So did I.
Okay, here.
It's fine.
Nope.
We don't have to have a debate about a poll.
I'm putting it on the screen.
Just use common sense. 30 people's not enough for accurate survey.
I know that. That's what I said. I said that can't be. And I joked about it, and I said, we qualify. Our podcast qualifies to take a survey and then go, well, one out of 30 people says something, and then you can say, well, the world says that's
Travis.
what it is. Yeah,
Travis out of 30 said it. That's what it's going to be. Travis out of 30. But that
I mean, roadkill. I think it
that would be
means
a good name for a
something. It's
podcast.
just fun.
Travis out of 30.
It's a scale now. How many Travises do you give it out of this? I give it 2 Travises out of 30. I think we need a song about this. Well, we can make a song.
Not enough.
We got plenty of songs. I got songs for days. Okay, want to hear it? Here we go. Fucking A, you can't put it directly into the thing. Everyone's deaf. Now everyone is deaf, Sarge. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Sorry, chat. Sarge. Oh, Jesus.
Didn't bother me. It's fine.
That's how it works, right? My house is not burning. I'm fine.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
All right, let's get to what we've been playing. I started.
Is it the Congo thing coming?
No, we're testing out a new song.
Oh,
here we go.
A new.
Crush some zombies, or flew through the sky, or rage quit a boss fight, don't even ask why. It's shooters, it's puzzles, it's swords that go clang. These are the games that made our hearts sing. Grab your joystick, or mash that key. It's game time with GXG.
I don't know if I like it yet. It's a testing stage. I don't know if I like it, but that's what it is right now. So it's another week, Sarge. What have you been playing?
Let's see. Let's reach down into the memory banks. This past week, Minecraft for some reason. I got looped in.
You play Minecraft?
I was playing Minecraft. I wanted to just test out some skin packs, texture packs, and just kind of zone out. I felt like zoning out. I had a couple of games of doing Spice Wars. I spent a lot of time looking at the Steam charts, like the Steam games. A lot of things are on sale again for some reason. So like, there's always like this weird sale in the middle of January, like towards Valentine's Day. So I kind of see what's on sale. If any game like calls to me because when it's one of those games that say $6, I might buy it. There was something else I was playing. Final Fantasy 12.
Still playing Final Fantasy 12?
Yeah, but I wasn't playing it for like the last few weeks though, so I started playing that again. Halo Wars, the RTS, online with some people. A lot of RTSs, I think, again this past week. I wanted to play Halo. I played Halo Infinite for a while by myself. I just kept cruising around.
You didn't go past the point with that character that you were playing with us, did you?
It's the same character.
Okay, because I was like, now I gotta start over again.
No, it's the same character. I got to start where you are. You're the leader, so I got to pick a save and it goes back to you. I just wanted to see if I can unlock some more things. I finally found, for some reason, a skull accidentally because I was looking at the map, and for some reason, the starting point where you start, there's an area north of it, but you can't really get there unless like you almost suicide yourself off the cliff and use the grapple, and like there's this whole area to walk through, and then on the top corner there's a bounty, two evil like huge hunters with the plasma guns, not like the green ones but the red ones.
Sorry, right? You just spoiled this whole thing for people.
Oh yeah, I spoiled it. Yeah, I'm sure Altron's upset, right? So in the middle of it there was a skull there, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And it wasn't like I found it. It was like it kept whispering stuff. It was like loud as fuck. I'm like, what is that noise? Like, I'm like, there's something wrong with my speakers. And I turn around, there's a skull there. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a skull. Now I know when you're close to a skull, you hear a bunch of
it makes noises.
Screamings. Right. Yeah. Oh, Nate's trapped in Dragon Age. Yep.
Well, Nate, I think, started Dragon Age. He played Dragon Age Veilguard first, and yesterday we told him go play Dragon Age, the other ones. Now, he liked Dragon Age Veilguard, but he never played the other ones first. And we were saying to him that the reason people gave crap to Dragon Age Veilguard is because it was nothing like the other Dragon Ages. So he's going backwards. Like I believe it was Nate, right? So he's played the last one first, and then he's going back to play the other ones. Right?
Yeah, that was it for me. I didn't get a chance to play with you guys for Rivals either. Usually I play Rivals.
Yeah, so I played Marvel Rivals. I've been dabbling into different heroes. I tried Loki the other day. I played for like half a match, and I went, I'm going to go practice this before I play this in quick match because I felt so bad. I sucked so bad at him. I was playing some Squirrel Girl the other day, and she's fun. She's a fun character to play. Who else was I playing? I tried her. I tried Loki. I tried... Who else was playing? I was playing a lot of Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier, he's actually really good if you understand the way it works, because you hit people, right? You throw your arm at them, you hit them, and then you get rapid shot. You go pop, 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 and then you can uppercut them, and then like you just rinse and repeat the process over and over. And it was actually really, really fun playing him. So I'm still enjoying Marvel Rivals. I didn't log in today. I got to log in after the show because otherwise I miss the login and my dailies and stuff that I have to do. So been playing that. Played some Delta Force, Sarge. We'll talk about a little bit more about Delta Force a little bit later, connecting it to Battlefield. But Delta Force is it's Battlefield 2042, but working, right? Like, so it's Battlefield, but with the heroes. It's the same thing with the heroes, sort of like Battlefield 2042 had. They have different things, but it's a free-to-play game, right? It's a free-to-play game. It's on PC. It's coming to console. It's coming to mobile. They have lots of microtransactions and stuff in there. Now, I'm at the point right now, I've played about 5 hours. I don't feel like I have to buy anything. Lots of stuff that you have to unlock and whatnot. The graphics, gameplay, it's faster than Battlefield, but slower than COD, if that makes sense to you, right? Like for like TTK and stuff like that. It gets a little bit to get used to. There's the maps are great. I like the maps that I've played so far. I got to get used to the smoke, man. The smoke is like everywhere. It's pop, and then you have to use your infrared scanner. So it's just a different type. I don't want to say it's bad in any way, shape, or form. I just haven't played enough to know the maps and know the different things. But I like it. I like Delta Force. But I don't love Delta Force. And I think it's the more of the modern stuff. I really like the Battlefield stuff set in like World War II era. I like Battlefield 3. I like Battlefield 4, but I don't
That
love
wasn't
it.
World War II. Those were
No,
modern.
I understand that. I liked Battlefront 3. I liked Battlefront 4, but I love the Battlefront 2 stuff, or the Battlefield 1942 stuff, right? I like Bad Company. Bad Company is my favorite modern day, right? But I just like the whole feel of that with the destructibility and whatnot. This is good. I like it. But I have a problem if this is what Battlefield is going to turn into. Okay, because we'll get to that story later, but if they turn this into Delta Force, I don't want Battlefield like that. Like, this is good for Delta Force. I think what Delta Force is doing is good for Delta Force. I don't want Battlefield to become what Delta Force is.
I mean, I watched you play. You played on some kind of weird uphill map with a giant rock that you had to climb.
Yeah, it was like a Navarone type of like mountain that you had to climb up. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there any way up there besides the cable cars going up?
Not that I know of. I only played it once. I only played it once, so I couldn't tell you if there was another way.
It seemed
only went up that way.
It seemed more like fun as firefights. Like, it wasn't like insta deaths, and you have the medics, so you can like set up in an area with guys and like do a firefight between 2 points, as opposed to just overwhelming and running and gunning. Like, you can actually set up a perimeter, a lot of crossfire areas, a lot of flanking positions I saw. So the map design looked good. It wasn't like, even though you were constantly fighting people in front of you, there's still avenues of attack from the flanks. It wasn't like just a one lane map, right?
There's a lot of different.
That's what it looked like.
Lots of different avenues. Lots of different different boards. I'm sorry, game modes. Right. So there's warfare, which is like the Battlefield-esque type of large scale battles. There's I don't know the actual names, but there's an extraction mode. I think it's called like Hot Zone or something along the lines. Once you get to certain levels, more game modes open up to you. So there's an extraction game mode. There's a PvE game mode, like raids that you can do. Okay, so I don't know if it's a squad of 4 or a squad of 6. I'm not really too sure, but I know it's in the game. So you could do PvE content in there. There's PvP content. There's extraction PvE/PvP content in there. So lots of different things. They have a season going on. I believe the way it is that there's, I think, 70 levels or 100 levels, and after the 100 levels, it still continues going, so you still get more stuff. So you can constantly like level up. There's like a separate leveling thing, sort of like you become a private first class, second class, third class. It's like a separate.
So is it like the original Battlefield level up system?
A little bit. So there's so much things leveling up. So at the end of the match, you're like leveling up your gun, you're leveling up your character, you're leveling up the battle pass. It's like there's all these things that like pop up on the screen. Like I said, I only played like 5 matches in like 4.5 hours.
So do the guns level up, meaning you get to find attachments?
Yeah, so the more you use a gun, the more stuff unlocks, the more attachments unlock.
Yeah, that's the old Battlefield. That's the old
There's
Battlefield.
like daily things to do where you can unlock certain things. So let's say you want a sniper, but you want a barrel for a sniper. It'll say like kill 30 people with a sniper rifle. And once you do that, you unlock this barrel, and then you can put that barrel on your gun. So there's like little daily missions. There's specific missions that you can do to unlock certain things. There's things that you unlock during the battle pass. There's things that you unlock during your actual leveling up of your character. Lots of different things going on in the game. I want to dive back in. I'll have to do it off stream because I'm having problems streaming the game on stream.
This is solely on PC, not on console?
Right now, it's solely on PC. Yeah, but it's coming. It's supposed to come to console.
This is not a beta. This is like the game's actually out.
The game's out on PC. I don't think it's early access, right, guys? I don't think it is. I think it's out now. It wasn't early access. It's not an early access anymore on PC. It's going to be on mobile as well. Okay,
mobile.
It's going to be on mobile and console. Now, someone asked about it.
Crossplay, is it?
It is crossplay. Yeah.
Mobile's crossplay with PC.
I don't know if mobile's crossplay, but it is crossplay. You can play crossplay once they get it. I don't know. I don't know. It's not out yet as far as console, so I can't tell you how it's going to work.
Yeah, I don't see how that's going to work.
So
right.
they
do have a chance to take over the position of a Battlefield game, though, if they do it well.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a massive hit. I think people like it right now because Battlefield's missing.
There's no Battlefield. Right.
Marvel Rivals is doing well because Overwatch is not being Overwatch. Right. Battlefield dropped the ball. Delta Force is picking up the slack. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, other than that, I'm also.
And if the guys from was it Code 6 got their act together, they could improve Hell Let Loose instead of just keep passing the buck back and forth and just sitting in limbo.
Yeah.
Game just sits in limbo. They're just wasting time.
Well, I want to play a game with you, Sarge, called Armada Reforge. Robert Jones was talking about it, I think 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, or a couple shows ago, right? So I want to play Armada Reforge. I don't know if I'm going to get it for console or if I'm going to get it for PC, but it's interesting. It's like Hell Let Loose, slow, the way you get into combat. But then once you're in the combat, it's very realistic and like it's like hardcore type of thing. And there's like missions, and what I like about this is there's missions. So like we gotta go destroy the radar tower, and so we take our squad and go destroy the radar tower type of stuff, right? It's very, Arma squad type of stuff. But I did play some Starship Troopers. I went back and played on PC, and then I went over to console. I like it. I love how the bodies stay on the ground, the bugs stay on the ground. I was really enjoying myself last night. Me and Eclipse were playing.
But that's why it crashes.
Well, I tried it last week, and it didn't crash. I played it on stream. It didn't crash for like the first hour and a half. We went into Horde mode, okay? And when we played through Horde mode, all of a sudden, I was like maybe 15 minutes into the match, and then it fucking crashed.
Yeah.
And I was like,
10,000 dead bodies in front of you.
And then I got back in, played again for like another 10 minutes, and then it crashed again, and I was just like, I'm fucking done, right? It got me really upset and aggravated because I was like,
there
why?
A setting in the game that's persistent bodies on and off or some kind of thing, some kind of setting in there?
No, but I don't think it's that.
I 100% believe it's that.
I mean, if it's that, then you need to shut that fucking shit off on Xbox, okay, or a console.
100% believe it's.
I was so upset because it's like
memory, man.
Rule number 1 is respect my time, and I feel like I'm wasting my time because if I'm going to play a game and put 20, 30, an hour into a game, I don't want my progress to get fucking deleted. You know what I mean? I want it to last and not get deleted. Because if it's going to get deleted, then I'll go play any other game that's not crashing on me. So, I had so much fun though playing the game.
First of all, why still has it not been fixed that they give you XP as you get it, as opposed to waiting till the end of the match?
I don't know. That
that's
should
the
be
biggest
as
one.
I kill something, that's the XP I get.
That's the XP you get.
That would fix the problem. Right? If you want to crash after that, cool. I don't care. I still got my XP. Right? So
or quick saves every 3 minutes or 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, but we haven't played in a while. They have 6 classes now instead of 3. Yeah. Okay, so there's lots more to upgrade. There's we made a squad, so if anybody wants to join, it's 30 NSG. You can join. So there's like missions you do together. There's different game modes. There is a 4 like squad co-op match that you go into. The whole game's co-op. There's no PvP. There's one where you're going out more exploring on the map, and you have to get like different points. And then there's the other one where you just kill the tunnels, go into the base, and hold off the base. And there's a horde mode. It is cool, man. The bodies pile up, and they keep crawling up the bodies, and then the more bodies, and it's really cool.
And crash, and that's exactly
on
why.
console
and
it crashes.
Crash.
On console it crashes, yeah.
And crash.
Yeah, so that's what I'm playing. I played that, and I played a couple of rounds of Fortnite with my son. Okay, I told the story on my morning show on Monday or Tuesday. So we were playing Fortnite, and Godzilla came in. We talked about it last week, saying it was coming into the game at the very end. Yeah. So he's like, "Dad, you got to play the game. Godzilla's in the game." I'm like, "All right, cool." So we started playing, and all of a sudden it says, Godzilla's coming or whatever on the screen, and he's like, "We gotta go." My son starts freaking out. He's like, get in the car. I was like, okay. I get in the car, and he's driving towards this like portal, and the portal's there. Okay. And he's so excited because he wants to, at the time, I didn't know what the hell he was doing. I'm looking for Godzilla, and I don't see him. He's like, there's Godzilla. I'm like, where? I don't see Godzilla. And he's like, there it is. And it's a portal. And he jumped out of the car and left me in the passenger seat. Okay. And the car launched off the mountain. Okay, as I'm still in the car, and he got out so he could run into the portal. Meanwhile, he launched me in to the portal. So I got to the portal before he did because I'm in a vehicle, and he launched me off the mountain. Okay, and I went in, and I was like, what's happening right now? And all of a sudden, it shoots me up in the sky, and it shows me coming down, and then it land, and then I'm Godzilla. Okay, and I'm like, what the hell is that? He's like, oh, you got Godzilla. He's like, you're Godzilla. I was like, what am I doing? He's like, you gotta kill everybody. You just gotta kill it. So there's a right or left triggers stomping on the ground. Yeah. Okay. I think RB is like you're screaming in the air, and when you scream in the air, it identifies where everyone is on the map. Okay, and then right trigger is your fucking blowtorch where you're just melting people with your nuclear blast, right? It's fun. It's fun. You're just going around, and you're the boss. You're the boss now. So everyone's shooting at you, trying to kill you.
How long ago did we say this? How long ago did we talk about how cool would it be if you're the actual boss?
Yeah, well, so you're
Right?
the boss.
Didn't we talk about that?
Well, no,
I'm sure we talked about it a few
Yeah, but
times.
Fortnite's been doing this for a while because you were in the past. You become Thanos. You have the Thanos glove, and you have special abilities, and everyone's going after you. Okay, this you're a giant fucking. I mean, you're Godzilla, and you're walking on the map. You're slow.
The first person that gets in the portal gets it. Is how it
First
works?
person in the portal gets the thing. Yeah. So and then everyone else is after you, and you can just murder everybody. I killed I think 8 or 9 people. Right? It's
Are you taking damage because they're shooting you? Like,
yeah,
are you
everyone's shooting at you. Yeah, everyone's shooting at you. You see your health bar. Okay.
How big is the health bar?
The health bar is pretty big. I was probably it for like 5 minutes or so.
Is it worse than being attacked by what's her face from Rivals?
Yeah, no, it does.
Scarlet Witch?
Scarlet Witch.
Is it worse? Is it worse than Scarlet Witch?
No, it's not as annoying as Scarlet Witch. You see it go down. They can do some damage to you, but the stomp, they need to add another ability because the stomp, no one's by your feet, man. I'm like looking around. No one. You move slow, right? So when you move, it's sort of like the AT-AT when you shoot and your turn. You know what I mean? That's what it's like. It's like really slow when you're turning. So you have to find out where the people are and then just blowtorch them. And when you blowtorch them, for the most part, you can murder them pretty fast. It's fun. It was a fun little game mode. I played 1 round of Godzilla, so that was cool. I think that's about it. I think I played a little bit of Minecraft with you as well. So yeah, the biggest thing I've been playing was Delta Force and Marvel Rivals. So we'll be playing more of that. So that is what we've been playing. So let's get to the top stories. All right. So the first story I want to talk about, Sarge, is since we were talking about Delta Force, right? Delta Force is basically Battlefield. So Battlefield, ex-Battlefield or ex-DICE developer says Battlefield fans should temper their expectations, right?
Here we go.
He says the alleged The alleged former DICE developer cautioned fans to temper their expectations for becoming Battlefield title, as it will have different philosophy and new development team. Okay, now the new philosophy, the way they describe it, okay, is rumored goal is to turn Battlefield into a live service game with seasons, a battle pass, and Warzone-like mode. Okay, and that's basically what Delta Force is. Now the difference between Delta Force and potentially what Battlefield could become, Sarge, is that Delta Force is free to play, and you know that EA is not going to give you a free to play Battlefield. They're going to charge you $70 full fledged game, right? Because that's why they're putting the story mode in there, right? Because they're going back to story, single player as well, okay? But they're also going to put a Warzone in there, esque type of thing, and they're going to put a live service aspects of it, right? So an alleged ex-DICE developer has stated on social media that Battlefield is entering its new era and flows different philosophy, so fans should temper their expectations. Now, while Battlefield fans eagerly await more information about the upcoming entry of the franchise, former ex-DICE developer has important information for you. He says the Battlefield franchise is one of the most iconic when it comes to the war-themed games, and the series has released multiple iterations over the years, covering both iconic and historical events and imagined features. Let me skip ahead. Right here, the difference works under... Okay, so has asked the fans to temper their expectations as the new team behind the upcoming Battlefield 6 is almost completely different, okay, and works under a different philosophy. According to the Rezible, after DICE imploded, 98% of the people who work on the previous Battlefield titles have left EA, right? Which is an additional 18% more than the last time we talked about this. From the people that went from Battlefield 1 to Battlefield 2042, they said 80% left. Now it's 98% of the staff has left EA Battlefield, basically. So it's a brand new organization. It's not even the same people. Like 2%, what is that? Like the head guy and the accountant are like the same people that have been working there. Everybody else is brand new.
Yeah, but EA, it says right there afterwards, EA wants to extract maximum revenue
Right.
from the players and drive up shareholder value. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
So it's claimed that the game release a new Battlefield game every year. Now, right now, they have 3 or 4 studios working on the next Battlefield rendition.
Heard this shit before.
So now what I think they're doing, if they do Call of Duty, this is what they're doing. They're doing like the Assassin's Creed. They're doing the Madden, right? Every year, they're just going to pump out a game. And this is what they heard. People love Battlefield, and they want more Battlefield. So we're going to oversaturate the market by making a live service game every year for the next 10 years, basically. It's just going to be Battlefield. Oh, you like this Battlefield? Well, here's another Battlefield, right? So it's going to be 6 and 7 and 8.
They could have did that with 2042. They could have did exactly what you're saying right now in 2040, but they didn't.
No.
They didn't even try to fix it.
Nope.
They just said, fuck it.
Yep.
So now it matters. So they what they're really saying is they fucked up 2042 so badly, the damage was so bad that they couldn't even repair it to do the direction that they're doing right now. Like you couldn't take that game and make it into what you're saying right there. They can't do it. They had to make another game.
Yeah. Well, I think Robert Jones, he says they've been doing this live service since the seasons for the past 2 games. We don't have to temper expectations. They're already into the trash. Playing Delta Force, I can see them going exactly that direction. But the difference is they want you to pay full price, right? They want you to pay full price where Delta Force is like, yeah, you can play it for free.
Yeah, story mode. Yep.
Right? That's it. That's why they're putting the story mode, which actually there's a story mode in Delta Force. It's not out yet. Okay, it's called Black Hawk Down, which is a story mode in that game. Okay, but yeah.
Don't move it. I want that guy's name.
Okay.
Jose V. Rossi from Game.
Yeah, so I'm a little worried. Like, look, I want it to be good, Sarge. I want Battlefield to come back. Okay, I wrote a song about it. Battlefield 18 months.
Well, then you just remove that thought from your head because everybody who made Battlefield what Battlefield is gone.
Not there
anymore. And so now they're going to go in some new direction. And I've heard this now for the last 3 Battlefields. So let me see your new direction. Well, I'm eager to see your new direction.
Yeah, so that's Battlefield. So Battlefield is lower your expectations and So
coming from a studio that invented the game to say out loud to, everyone calm down. Don't think about Battlefield like you liked Battlefield. We're going to make another Battlefield, and we're going to hope you like this one, too. Like, that's basically what you're telling me. Everything we knew about Battlefield is not going to be it.
Krebsy says, I'll shorten this article, skip the next Battlefield. Yeah.
But just from the minimal storytelling of the author of the article, they're copying COD. Like, they can't even go their own way. They have to copy COD.
Well, here's why they're doing it, Sarge. Are you ready? Because Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was the best-selling game of 2024.
Yep.
Right?
Well,
and this is what EA has been.
Considering every game that's come out in 2024 was broke, buggy, and unfinished, Call of Duty won. Congratulations. Everybody congratulations.
The fact that Battlefield and EA is like, we can do this. We can be the best. No, you can't. You know why? Call of Duty, regardless of what it is now, it's not the same Call of Duty it was before. But Call of Duty knew what Call of Duty was.
Grow, bro. You got to grow.
Right? And they did what they had to do to make it grow. But Battlefield is just copying what Call of Duty is doing. Right?
Yeah.
There's no originality with Battlefield anymore. They're chasing trends. They're chasing different things. They have no idea. Yeah.
They use the same terms. We're going to put a war zone in there. Warzone is COD's word.
Yeah.
You can't even come up with your own thing. Like that's it. Copy pasta. We got to put a war zone in our game too. You're going to like it.
They couldn't put it like battle zone, field zone, nothing. All right.
Nope.
So Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was the best-selling game in 2024 in the United States. The news was announced on January 23rd. Okay, Black Ops 6 took over the top spot and had long been held by EA College Football 25 since the launch in December. And with Black Ops 6 releasing at the end of October, that means that it took just over 2 months for the latest of Activision to reach the top spot. Now, we don't know what that number is, by the way. They don't tell you what the top spot is. It could have been FC college football could have sold 10 million copies, and COD could have sold 10 million and one. You know what I mean? And they're the number one. They don't tell you what that number is. College football moved to second to the list. On Helldivers 2 remained at third, rounding off the top 5 of 2024, were Dragon Ball Z, Sparking Zero, and NBA 2K5 or 25. Elsewhere on the list were 5 other sports games, including Madden, EA Sports FC 25, WWE 2K24, MLB The Show, and NBA 2K24. So what also stands out in this fact is that the top 20 best-selling games of the year, 7 weren't released in 2024, which was Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto games, well over a decade old, remained steadily in the top 20 in the United States. So there you go. So here's the list. Call of Duty number 1. College Football 25 was number 2. Helldivers number 3. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero was number 4. NBA 2K25 was number 5. Madden number 6. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Call of Duty's 2 games. 2 games are in the top 10, Sarge, of Call of Duty for best-selling games in 2024. EA Sports FC 25. Elden Ring number 9. EA Sports MVP Bundle number 10. Here's a surprising one. Hogwarts, 2 years old, Sarge. Hogwarts Legacy at number 11 on this list. Right, 2 years after. Dragon's Dogma 2 is at number 12. WWE 2K24, MLB The Show 24, Grand Theft Auto 5, Minecraft, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth at 17, Tekken at 18, Marvel Spider-Man 2 at 19, and we know that sold around 7 million, right? So I think we know about that. I think it's like 6-7 million for Spider-Man 2. So that's the low. So everyone above that sold more than 7 million, right? And then we have NBA 2K24. But then again, that's Marvel Spider-Man that sold that many in 2023. We actually don't know that the sales they had in 2024. So it could have been 2 million in 2024 to make a total of 7 million, right? So there you go. That's what Battlefield's trying to become. Battlefield's trying to become Call of Duty. And while they're in the process of trying to become Call of Duty, they're going to lose more and more people because they're just going to be a fly-by-night operation to be like, oh, well, this Battlefield sucks. Doesn't matter. We'll see you next year for the next Battlefield.
Right. They'll just keep going until you find one that works, right?
Right.
Like COD did. You just keep going until you find one that works.
So there's that for Concord. Next up is another great company, Sarge, that's been hitting bangers after bangers after bangers, talking about Hogwarts Legacy. Was the only banger that it was hitting on. But I guess this could be good news. So Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment president David Haddad is leaving the company. Okay, so this might be a good thing. Who knows? Okay. Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment has announced that its president, David Haddad, will leave the company. First reported by Variety, Haddad will stay with the company for the next 3 months as Warner Brothers finds a new replacement. The internal email staff, Haddad's departure, global streaming and game CEO, and President J.B. Peretti said that global games team, I wanted to share you with the news that after 12 incredible years leading WBD development, games, David Haddad has decided to depart the company. You know what it should say? 12 incredibly dumb years where you flushed the conferences and massive IPs down the toilet is what it should say, right? On behalf of David Zaslav and all of us at the WBD, I want to express my deepest gratitude to David for the phenomenal work and passion during his time here. With the support and incredible efforts of the whole team, David has led WB Games to the cellar. I might be ad-libbing a little bit there. Numerous accomplishments over the years, both creatively and commercially. His vision, talent, and passion have helped build one of the most successful and admired gaming companies in the industry. Has it, though?
Well, here's how this
has
works.
It, though?
Here's how that works, though, right? If you suck at your job, you get praised on your way out, right? When you suck at your job, you get this rite of passage, how awesome he was, what a great year, what a great decade he had.
Yeah, fantastic.
All these things he had, right? But if you do well, nothing is said by you because you don't leave. You're still there. And then the only way you get the positive remarks at all would be you stay there, you do well, and then you retire. And then when you retire, like he's retiring, he went out on a bang, he did 10 years.
Great guy for the company.
Right,
yeah.
Great. Right. Otherwise than that, you fail and they give you the positive remarks when you're failing. You didn't help anything. Right? All you did was spin wheels and spend money. That's all you did. The reason why you're leaving is because you can't make things work. But let's praise him because he did such a great job.
When you see the
As a matter of
praise him,
fact- as a
all I
matter
could
of
think
fact,
of was
he did
Nicolas
such
Cage.
an awesome job.
High praise.
Right. He's doing
High
such
praise.
an awesome job. He decided to leave because he's doing such a
Yeah,
good job.
I'm so good
He
at my
decided
job
to
after
leave.
12 years.
I should go.
I'm gonna leave at the top.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to ask for more money because I'm doing so awesome and better the company. I should leave because I'm finishing it up on top, kids.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't look good, right? It doesn't look good. So they're leaving. Suicide Squads is basically in the toilet. They haven't done anything. We don't know what's happening with the WB Wonder Woman game. The last Batman game that was created is the Batman VR game. What else? They haven't done anything with the Lord of the Rings IP except for Tales of the Shire that's coming out later this year.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. I don't think you're getting a Wonder Woman game. I'll just say it.
Well, it looks like it's in trouble. Well, we read it a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I think it's gonna go Transformers. They're gonna keep
You think,
showing
you think it's going to cancel?
You're gonna just cancel it.
I think it'll come out. I think it'll come out.
I'm giving Wolverine 50-50. Wonder Woman's not even close. I'm giving Wolverine 50-50 that you might cancel it.
Well,
Wonder Woman's not even close.
The head of that studio is left. Insomniac Games. I don't have it as one of the stories, but that guy is left after 25 years. Now, I'm assuming he's leaving because Wolverine's done. So
It's done, all right.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I think it's done. So that's why he's leaving, because I don't think he would leave before it's finished. So I think that's coming out sometime this year as well.
Okay. Like I
But
said,
we'll see.
50-50.
I mean, if he doesn't leave, if he's left, if it comes out afterwards, if the person from Insomniac has left, and Wolverine doesn't come out this year, well, that gives me a little worry because that means something's gone wrong, and they're pushing it back to 2026.
Well, not
right?
really, because the way they keep doing things now is they need time to do their actual testing, because they keep saying now that they're doing actual testing. I think they're probably really close to the deadline that they can't hit for this year. That's why they might push it back, because remember, the GTA 6 clock is ticking. And if it's coming out this year and you got a game that's supposed to come out in the summer and you delay and it's supposed to come out in the fall, you don't want to be anywhere near GTA. You'll just wait and wait till 26.
Right.
Right. So that's probably a factor too. If any game is coming out anywhere near GTA 6 and you got problems at all, you should probably just wait. Just put it on the back burner and wait.
Nate says the Batman VR is awesome. I didn't say the Batman VR was bad. What I'm saying is the only Batman game to come out was the VR game. And we all know that VR is not a massive selling point here for a company that's looking to make money, right? They didn't sell millions and millions of copies of Batman, right? They probably sold, I would say 400,000, 600,000, maybe, right? For the VR. That's not saying it's a bad game. I'm saying as a business, they want to make money. And if you're making a video game for only a small percentage of the people that could potentially buy your game, you're probably not doing very good. And this is why we know that WB's in debt, and the entire company for the gaming division's in trouble. Hence why they need a little bit of push going on here, because Hogwarts Legacy is 25 million, Suicide Squad's $3 million, right? Big difference.
I think, to be serious just for a moment, I think that the release date of GTA 6 is on the minds of a lot of companies.
They're just sitting back. They're like, please just announce
it. They're probably going along, they're doing their business, looking at their calendars for the coming year. Like, this is our schedule for this year, and everyone's happy dory. And then at some point in the spring here, maybe late winter, early spring, Rockstar is going to drop a date. And if they drop a date, everybody's calendar goes completely out the window, and they all have to move things around.
Right. They either go, oh, or shit. Right. That's the two options that happen when Grand Theft Auto says, this is when we're releasing. Everyone's like, please not by us. Please. Oh, thank God. Right. That's what they do. Right.
As a matter of fact, I think what'll be funny is I think because a lot of game companies will release stuff during the spring, they'll let you know what's coming out for the year, because fourth quarter happens and people hype train going. So I think Rockstar might wait until everyone announces what games are coming out for the year, and then drop a date and watch everybody just change all the dates. It'd be hilarious.
Could be. Krebsy says, I keep saying it, the week of October 21st, 2025 is the release date for Grand Theft Auto 6. We'll see. Here's something we'll also see. This is a rumor, Sarge. Rumor. Right? Are you ready to laugh?
There's a rumor?
Rumor.
Yeah.
New Avengers game is in development. Now, I don't think it's this Avengers again. I think it's going to be, but here's my excitement. Are you ready? Just take Marvel Rivals hero design from NetEase and go make a good Marvel's Avengers game. Okay? Take that type of art style and go make it. But let's see what Game Rant here has to say. It says a new Avengers game is rumored to be in development, one that reportedly isn't connected to Crystal Dynamics. Well, that's a good start. That's a good start from the bat, right? It's not connected to Crystal Dynamics, Marvel Rivals Avengers game. Crystal Dynamics brought Earth's Mightiest Heroes to console with a team-based live service title in 2020, but results ultimately failed to win over the superhero gaming fan base. Marvel's Avengers was criticized right out of the gate. Marvel's Avengers was criticized right out of the gate for monetary practices and repetitive combat and struggled to build the player base as a result. Despite of efforts continuing supporting the game, though, post-launch content, Crystal Dynamics ultimately discontinued Marvel's Avengers in September of 2023. I can't believe that's been it's a year and a half ago. It's crazy. A good hero never stays down for long, though. Some of the characters featured in Marvel's Avengers have appeared in other games since Marvel's Midnight Suns, featured a few cast members from the ill-fated Avengers game as playable characters, and does recently launch Marvel Rivals. Captain America is set to return in an action alongside the Black Panther in Marvel's 1943, Rise of Hydra, and both Iron Man and modern-day T'Challa Black Panther are getting single-player titles for EA. Sure. Okay, now the rumor for Avengers game won't be connected to the Marvel's Avengers. Again, it's a winning recipe. Last summer, a similar rumor claimed that Marvel was looking to develop a game set in the MCU, though nothing else about that has been revealed so far. The MCU adjacent title of the new Avengers game, Daniel Richman speaks of could be one of the same, but it's important to note that neither rumor has been officially verified at this time. So while Marvel Rivals didn't live up to the hopes of either players or the companies that developed it, the characters themselves are still ripe for video game adaptations and the success of recent titles like Marvel Rivals and Insomniac's Spider-Man. So look, I would love another Marvel's game. I would love a Marvel's game, but that game is already here, and that's called Marvel Rivals. And all you have to do, instead of spending an additional $250 million to make a separate Avengers game, all you have to do is make a PvE game mode in Marvel Rivals, and then let me use the characters that I want to use inside the game to do PvE content against bosses or whatever else. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to invest with a brand new studio to make a game that could be like Crystal Dynamics and fail. You could capitalize and help NetEase or give more money to NetEase to have another division work on a PvE content for Marvel Rivals.
You have to think like these mongoloids, though, bro. Rivals is doing so well that the suits in Warner Brothers are going to do a DC version of Rivals. You know it's coming, right? They have to copy. They have to. They're like, we're not doing crap with our DC stuff. Look at Rivals. Can't we do that? Yeah, we could do that. No, but can we? Can we actually? That's what they're saying in the office. Yeah. Can we actually do that kind of game? And they're like, I don't see why not. I'm still alive. I could probably program something. Like it's whatever's going on. Whatever's going on at Warner Brothers. I guarantee you, that's the first game that comes out. They've got to get it out ASAP. ASAP. The DC version of Rivals. I'm telling you. Right? What? Tell me what the new after what you saw the last Avenger game was. Tell me what this one is. What is it? What could it possibly be?
It could be the exact same, right? Not a looter, though, right? Krebsy says Marvel Rivals PvE game would be half-assed, in my opinion. I don't think so. I think that they could put it towards it, right, and actually put some thought process in it. The mechanics are already there. Characters are already there. Superpowers are already there, right? Bring in boss fights. What do you need, right? What do you do in Elden Ring? It's an open-world game with boss fights. What can you do in Marvel Rivals? You don't have to make it open world. You can just make boss fights. Just boss fights. You don't have to level up your gear. You don't have to put a new spinal cord for Hulk, right? You're just playing Hulk, going up against Doc Ock. Playing Hulk, going up against Doom. Playing Hulk and going up against Sinister.
I'll tell you what the new translation is. When they put something on the article like this where it says rumor, new Avengers game in development, right? Rumor, right? What that really means is they're thinking about making a game.
Right. They're just putting out their feeling. They're feeling it.
They're thinking about making this could be a mobile game. Easy. It could be Candy Crush with Avenger faces. You know what I'm saying? Like it could easily be anything. Right. But when it says rumor, all that means to me now is you're thinking about making a game. You're thinking about it. You didn't break ground. You didn't hire anybody yet. There's no title. There's nothing. We're thinking about making a game. Great.
Jason says Overwatch 2 PvE looked cool. It could work for Rivals. I think it could, and I think they should make it. They should make it happen. Again, obviously, it's a completely different company doing it, right? Robert Jones says, "Don't give it to NetEase." Look, NetEase has already made the Marvels game. All they have to do is add a different game mode into the Marvels game. You don't need to invest in a completely different studio, Marvel. Okay, and go, hey, you know what we need? We need another Marvel game on top of the Marvel game that's already, right? Look, big picture, right? I understand there's different studios, but the Marvel IP is owned by Disney. And Disney is like, hey, this game is really doing well over here, okay? Now, Disney's smart because they're taking the Marvel brand and putting it in Fortnite for the $1.5 billion, and they're putting Star Wars and Marvel, and they're going to have their own little world in there. There's only certain amount of time and places that people would go. If you have Marvel's Avengers here, Marvel Rivals here, and then Marvel's Land over in Fortnite, and then another you're separating the player base of your Marvel fans, where you could dedicate just to a one game of Marvel, and everyone can go there and play. And I understand different places, more opportunity for money, okay? But it's ridiculous to me to be like, yeah, let's go make Tales of the Shire for Lord of the Rings, and then let's go take another Tales of the Shire to make a different Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, keep it there. I said this again for Lord of the Rings, or not Lord of the Rings, Hogwarts Legacy, right? Hogwarts Legacy, you have 25 million people that bought Hogwarts Legacy, okay? Then they wanted to go make a separate game mode, a separate game, which bombed, by the way, the Quidditch game that came out that looked like sort of like epic Fortnite type of graphics. It bombed. People don't even talk about it. It's gone already. See you later. Okay, no one's playing it. No one's doing anything with it. Instead of taking the Quidditch and putting it into the game where 25 million people are already playing. Instead, they're like, well, let's make a Quidditch game and let's sell it over here. It's Harry Potter. No one gave a shit. You know why? Because they're playing the other cool Harry Potter game. Okay, so why separate the player base for Marvel when you could invest, right? Hey, NetEase can only put 6 guys out a year or 8 guys out a year. Well, you know what? Let's give them more money so they can get 15 guys or 20 people, and let's get them a PvE game mode. That's the way I look at this, right? If you're a fan of an industry, of an IP, but you're separating them across the board, you could just put that stuff into the game that's working, right? But that's just me.
But that happened even back in the day. Their greed gets in the way of the actual player base, just like the original Battlefield games, where they'd have a Battlefield game, everyone would play it, but then they release a map pack, and then everyone likes the map packs, and then you can't play with other people, so you automatically are separating people inside the game. Because if you don't have that map pack, you're not in that cycle, right? You're not going to be in those matches, right? So it's the same thing. They're just doing it they're doing it in a different way, but it's the same, right? You're separating your own player base by thinking you can make a game stand out when it can't stand on its own.
Robert Jones says, yeah, but if they're adding it PvE, fine. But if they decide to do a separate game, they should go with someone who will make and sell instead of microtransaction a game. Sure, but that microtransaction, we know, Robert Jones, is automatically baked in, right? We know they're like, hey, you see all Marvel Rivals are selling skins? Why don't we make a game that's like this? And that's why they made a live service game originally, right? Krebsy says, well, first Krebsy said, I think Marvel Rivals PvE mode would lack depth. I don't think it has to have a lot of depth. Honestly, I don't think it has to have a lot of depth. It just needs to be fun, and that you're using Marvel characters, and your power fantasy is fighting the boss fights. I said the same thing with Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights, you're using just 4 heroes. You could add more heroes if you wanted to, but what they really needed to add to that game,
you're talking about like the
was just add more boss fights.
Doctor Doom or the X-Men versus Magneto.
Yes,
like that kind of thing.
Right? Why is Dark Souls popular? Right? Because your power fantasy is it's your gaming skill versus that one boss. Right? Sekiro, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Wukong. They're all these games that it's just you versus a boss. Right? You versus a boss. Right? Sure, you upgrade stuff and whatnot, but it's not a looter. It's not a thing like that. It's just your skill versus that. Why do people like doing raids? because they get gear. Okay, but really the gear doesn't really matter in raids anymore because you can just go buy the microtransaction of that skin. It looks 10 times better than what you're getting, right? So if Marvel Rivals just added a boss fight, now when I played Marvel Future Revolution, one of my favorite parts about that game was there was I forget what it was called. Mr. Luke, you probably remember, where you would just go down the list. It was like a tower defense, not a tower defense, a tower tier thing, where you would go against like Kingpin, and then you would go against Green Goblin, you would go against all the bosses, and you would just beat them and see, and then you would hit a wall, and you're like, well, I have to go level up, right? And they would go charge you some diamonds or whatever to make yourself more powerful. They don't have to do that for Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals just put the bosses in there and let us fight the bosses, and you'd be like, I'm tired of playing PvP. Let me go play some PvE game mode. I'm tired of playing PvE game mode. Let me go back to PvP. Let me go make comp, right? Put game modes into the game that's already there instead of, well, we have to make it super complex and there's got to be a leveling system. And I just want to play Hulk. I want to smash faces. I want to see if I can take Hulk and beat Doctor Doom. I want to see if I can beat Black Widow and beat Hobgoblin. Whatever, right? That's what I want to be. That's the power fantasy of Marvel.
I don't see how.
Let me see what you guys are saying here.
I don't see how that works. All right, as far as I'm concerned, when I read this article, all I'm thinking about is it's a Candy Crush with Marvel heads. That's all I'm going to go with.
Yeah, I don't know about how this game's going to work, but look, you piqued my interest. Now that Transformers doesn't exist anymore, I'm like, Marvel's Avengers, maybe.
Don't go down that rabbit hole. Until someone comes out and says, hey, we're actually making a game, and here's a trailer and a gameplay. Over to you, Bob. Like that's how it's going to be now. I don't give a shit about anything else anymore. New year, new thought process. You're telling me you're making a game. I don't hear you. I hear nothing you're saying.
Right. I got to see it. Right. I got to see it.
You tease me with Transformers for 2.5 years, 3 years, and then just cancel the son of a bitch. I don't even care anymore. Like if you're making a game, I'll see you when I see you.
Next story, Sarge. Dragon Age Veilguard pulled 1.5 million players, but still missed EA's sales expectations by nearly half. What I find funny about this is
nearly half. So they wanted to sell 5 million copies, 4 million copies.
Yeah, 3 to 4 million copies, right? I would say more along the lines of probably 6 or 7.
Yeah,
is what they probably wanted to do,
because they don't know the definition of nearly. They're just going to give it close.
Yeah. So I think it's funny because we watched the video a couple months ago of Ginger Prime was talking about everyone was running with it that Vanguard's selling well. And they looked at the Steam charts and we looked at the number and we're like, this would equate to about 1 million, 1.5 million sales for the game based on the assumption of what the concurrent player base was. Okay. And people like Jason Schreier, the how can I say, the journalist that everyone loves and respects because of his pieces that he writes, which is fine. Okay. But then he did a tweet during this time period when Veilguard came out and said, and I'm ad-libbing here a little bit because I don't remember the exact quote, but he said something along the lines of, I just like seeing you chuds get burned or whatever. All right. And then shortly after that, he deleted the tweet. Okay. Because, reasons, because people are saying the game's not good. Okay. And it's not selling well. And everyone equated that, well, it's not selling well because of, it's not selling well because it wasn't Dragon Age. Okay, it's not the Dragon Age that everyone liked before, so it didn't sell well. It also didn't sell well because of the DEI stuff that was put into the game. And then Jason Schreier comes out and says what he said and then removes it shortly after. And then here we are, 2025, and the sales are coming out because of the financials. Okay, and it says publisher Electronic Arts, developer BioWare's latest role-playing game, Dragon Age Veilguard, grabbed around 1.5 million players, but missed EA's expectations by almost 50%, and this comes primarily earning report from EA sharing details to performance for the third fiscal year. It's still a few days out from EA's full fiscal results of quarter, which also shared on February 4th. EA expects the mid-single-digit decline. And in addition to Dragon Age, the company blamed EA Sports FC 25 for underperforming. And also during quarter 3, we continued to deliver high-quality games and experience across the portfolio. However, Dragon Age and EA Sports FC 25 underperformed our net bookings expectations. Right? So there's this problem, and then they just got rid of the director, the person that was the head of Dragon Age Veilguard, left the company. I don't know if it got fired or if they left, but they left the company, and now they're moving on to something else. So obviously, if the game sold well, I don't think the head of the gaming company or the game
Would
would have
leave.
left the company. Right, they would stay. Right, so obviously we saw the writing on the wall. We could do the smell test, man. When you see Steam charts and someone tells you, "Oh, it's selling millions of copies," but the concurrent player base is like 80,000, you're like, "Yeah, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up."
The main issue with a lot of these companies, and it's sad to see that you have to wait for the actual sales numbers for the fourth quarter numbers to come out before they tell the truth, which should already make you concerned, is that they are purposely going against the grain of the market, trying to do a narrative that doesn't sell. Then when they fail, they're afraid to try anything, and so they'll go and just try the same thing, and they copy pasta another game exactly the same because they know that one will sell. So there's no innovation and there's no progression. So you try a narrative that no one wants, you fail, and then you copy pasta the next game because you need to sell something now, right? You need to sell something. So in order to do that, you have to fall back on something that's already been sold, already been out, and then you lose those years. So you have you have multiple companies repeating the same problems over a decade, and instead of progressing, we're regressing. So you're just getting the same games over and over again because we need to make sales now, right? I'm waiting to see the people who are like done with the nonsense and are willing to actually sell art again and take a chance. That's what I'm waiting for.
Right. I'm trying to find. Let's see. I want to find his actual tweet if I can.
I mean, how many times you have to look at the same stuff over and over again? Like, yes, it looks cool, but it's the same as insert game here. Like, that's how this has been going. Because God forbid they would actually do well. Listen. Be thankful that these games are failing, right? Because if one of these fucking narratives takes hold and they call their pile of shit a good game and it sells the copies they want, you are going to get a never-ending stream of narrative bullshit for years to come.
So this is what Jason Schreier's text was, or tweet was. He said, "Go woke, go broke, top of the charts," right? And then someone commented, "There's no way you generally like this turd." And he says, "I actually don't like the game very much, but I do like seeing you chuds get dunked on." Right, so obviously it wasn't the top of the charts, and he let the better of himself.
He's drinking. He's drinking and he's on the internet. That's what that is. If you're corporate, listen, if you're corporate and you're part of the corporation sphere, you don't go online and start talking shit to your customer base. The only time that happens is you're home, mad about something, and then you're on the internet and you're drinking, and you start reading chud language, and you decide that you're going to start having a conversation with a bunch of children. You're a 50-something-year-old man making millions of dollars a year. You're going to get into a pissing contest with a 14-year-old because you don't like the way he talks. Like, that's not professional.
Right.
It's not professional at all. Let that shit go, man. Your game sucks because the kids didn't want it.
Look, I just think it's funny that I get that the journalists are allowed to be people too, but when they start going down the rabbit hole of what the normal people, the normies want to talk about, and they get tossed into that type of stuff, it just looks funny because they think they have the moral high ground because they're in the business and they talk to all these developers. Yeah, but meanwhile,
you can't sell a game,
right? But the people that play games, the people that play games and watch and read, live and breathe just games. They're like, yeah, this game's not good. This game's not good. We know this game's not good. We know it's not selling well. They're like, in your face, we know it's selling. It's going to be the top of the charts, you chuds. It's like, okay. And the truth comes out. And the truth comes out.
But then you have to put his face next to that comment, next to that article, and go, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
They take it to heart when we're just telling you that this game's not selling well. And everyone's like, nah, man. Right? People did it with me with Outlaws. I liked Outlaws. I'm telling you, Outlaws is not a good game because it's about 8 months from being complete. I love it. It's great. You don't know what you're talking about. And meanwhile, the devs are like, yeah, we're fixing that. Yeah, we fixed that. And over the last 4 months, they fixed the game, and they still have more to put into the game and fix it, right? It's not that I hate the game. The game comes out, it's not working correctly. So people like myself and other people on the internet tell you, sure, are there people that are telling you the game is shit? And that's it. They're like, it's sort of like Tim Kaine when he was talking about, right? Do gamers know what they want? But he looks at the people that are not giving constructive criticism. He look at the people that are just saying anything. He's like, what do you want? Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. It's like, why are you listening to those people? Listen to the people that are actually playing your game and tell you what's wrong with the game and then fix it. All right. But it shouldn't even get to that point because the game should come out where it's not broke, buggy, and unfinished. Right.
Let me ask you a question. These companies don't have their pool of 14 to 25-year-olds who play video games.
They do.
You don't have your little pool for them to tell you what the fuck is up. Like you have to wait until the game comes out and then have a barrage of people, bad publicity, have community managers go off on fucking guests. Like you need to get to that point before you realize what the fuck is wrong with your game.
Yeah.
It don't make sense, bro. It don't make sense.
It's just weird to me. So far, we have journalists, we have directors of the games, we have like heads of companies. They're all like
butthurt. All these adults,
they're all arguing with people on the internet.
Let's review. Let's back up. You decided as an adult that my profession was to be a graphic designer for video games that are purchased by children. That's my job.
Yeah.
Then at some point, either the Xanax or the drinking or my 3 wives got in the way, and I decided to become very bitter and decided I'm going to fight back against the children who's a video game I'm making for. And I'm going to have a rational discussion with these people about how a game should be made. Fucking no.
Right.
Fucking no. Make a fucking video game. Pick the topic, pick the story, and make a video game. That's it, right? Don't worry about your corporate fucking shareholders. First, make a game that can sell. Then you can talk about the corporate shareholders, right? Everything's about your numbers, but your numbers don't mean shit if you can't move product.
Right. They're all sitting in the big boardroom with the big table, with the big comfy chairs, with the server coming in with coffee and lattes. And do they think they got there magically? No, they got there because they made a product, and the company sold that product. And who did they sell it to?
Children.
Us, the gamers, the people that are paying our money out of our pocket, right, to make you rich, successful, to make games, right? And they're like, they just don't know what they want.
The only reason why you have that illegally made fucking redwood desk in your fucking corporate office is because we bought the last 3 versions of your game so you could pay someone to go into the redwood forest and knock down the goddamn tree, okay? So you could brag about how you've got a redwood fucking desk in your fucking office, right? You're welcome. Now make a fucking game.
Right.
I got to put in a game that tells the story about a bunch of handicapped, mentally disabled people. We don't care.
Right.
It's not a good game.
Right.
We don't like it. Well, you're racist and sexist and look up some more words and I can call them. Somebody look up some stuff. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Yeah. So let's calm down a little bit, Sarge. Let's talk about we're talking about Marvel Avengers. Now let's talk about Marvel Rivals. Okay, there's six new Marvel Rival characters. Okay, and now what I want to talk about this, Sarge. I talked about this earlier this week, but I want to hear what you have to say. Okay, so the 6 new heroes that they're talking about right now that are leaked is Gambit, Rogue, Jubilee, which is funny because you mentioned Jubilee last week, right? You mentioned Jubilee last week. So Jubilee, Beast, Nightcrawler, and the Hood. Now, we knew about the Hood last week, but we didn't know about Nightcrawler, Beast, Jubilee, Rogue, and Gambit.
So it's the entire X-Men family.
Right. So my question to you is there's 22 characters now that are leaked. 22. Okay. The game just came out a month ago. Okay. There's 22 characters, 37 characters in the game, right? 33, 35. There'll be 37 once the other 2 Fantastic Four characters, Johnny Storm and Thing, come into the game. Okay. So there'll be 37 characters in the game and 22 other characters that are leaked. Now, by the developer's own statement, they said that every 6 weeks, 1 hero is coming into the game. Okay. So by the 4 already put in the game, and every 6 weeks, they'll get another additional 6 characters into the game, which will make a total of 10 this year. Okay, so it'll be 43 by the time 1 year comes around. Okay, but with 22 characters leaked right now, Sarge, that's almost 3 years of content based on their own words of every 6 weeks of a character, because it would be 8 a year after this point. Okay, not 10. 10 this year because of the Fantastic Four, whatever. But they didn't say that they're always going to do 1 character every 6 weeks. They just said every 6 weeks, there's going to be a new hero, right? So What do you think about this? Obviously, this is all leaks. These are all rumors. This is all speculation. 22 characters. Do you think that we're going to get more characters faster or sooner? Or do you think this is the 3-year like line of content that we're seeing right now?
No, it's first of all, I don't take them at face value every 6 weeks. I don't take that for face value. But what I would say is
you don't take them at face value because of they're guaranteed one every 6 weeks, or that they could be more than one.
The statement by itself, and I'll tell you why they tell you that statement, because then now that plants the seed into the gamers' heads that I can be looking forward to a new character every 6 weeks.
Okay.
Now, with all the leaked information, and once again, I'm not going to go through this every year, but there's no such thing as leaks. There is information that's allowed to be let out, right? To keep the hype.
Well,
alive.
it's data mined, right? So it's there.
Right? Whatever, right? You can stop data mining. You can stop people from data mining. Otherwise, how come I don't see anything about GTA 6, bro? No one's data mining Rockstar? No? Too difficult? Are they on a different kind of computer? I don't know. Maybe Rockstar just
they're just data mining
allow leaks.
They're just data mining the content that comes out to us.
Point being is there's no such thing as a leak. All right, the information is allowed to let out when they want it to let out. They tell you that's set up in order to keep the hype alive. You're looking down the road because you know these things are coming. But with the number of people that they've data mined, what that conflicts now with is now they have the option to do whatever it is they want when they need it. So let's say in the middle of the summer, whatever is happening, that the game's not doing well, because lo and behold, there's been 12 new game releases in the last 3 months. People are being pulled in all different directions, and the numbers for Rivals drops, and some asshole fucking editor somewhere comes up with an article and saying Rivals is going down, it's dying. Like that stupid article that's going to come out sometime before the summer
Apex
starts.
Legends right now,
right?
yeah.
Right. You know that's coming. So when that comes out, in order to combat the stupid article with these stupid writers who don't have a real article and just going to just spout out whatever, they'll just say, hey, new mode, new this, these characters are coming out, and you sprinkle some sunshine into the gamers' faces because you have so many characters that you have to release. You can release them whenever you feel like, right? If you release 1 or 2 characters every 6 weeks, that's more than 2 years, Mike. 22 people is going to take a while.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If it's 8 a year, that's 24 in 3 years.
And that's saying that they stopped making characters completely.
Correct.
Right? So once again, Marvel IP, tremendous. How many characters in the Marvel universe? Too many to count. I'm sure we're in the 400s at some point.
1,000.
Right? It's ridiculous. So they allow themselves the room where they can now pivot anytime they want throughout the year. As soon as attention is down on the game, when they don't want it to be down, they just put in whatever they have to put in. They'll make a little advertisement for a new battle pass or a new season or new whatever's coming out or special event, and they'll put out the characters. That's what that is.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like if you put out one of these characters once a week, like so let's say this is six weeks, right? Every 6 weeks. So the first one is Gambit, right? And then 6 weeks later you get Rogue, and then 6 weeks later you get Jubilee. I think that's fine, right? Because people know these characters, right? Now you get to Jubilee. I don't know if people will be excited about Jubilee. She's liked, but I don't think she's beloved. Okay, but let me go down to some of these other characters.
She's got to come out near July, bro, for 4th of July.
But
she's fireworks out of her hands. That's
but this is my point, though, right? Some of these characters you'd be excited about, and other characters you wouldn't. We talked about this last week a little bit, right? If one every hero, one every 6 weeks, Pasty Pot Pete. Yeah, no one's getting hyped. If people were leaving, I'm
gonna call him Piss Pot.
If Piss Pot wants to come into the game, okay, no one's gonna get excited, Sarge, to be like, oh, this 6 more weeks, man, we get Pasty Pot Pete. Who are we getting? And the next person
hearing is Yosemite Sam as the voice, is what I hear.
Right. The next person, right, every character is not going to be super excited. Oh man, I can't wait for Jing Jing or Locust, right? There might be someone that go, I can't believe Locust is coming in the game. But the mass market of people is like, who?
Right.
Like, you skipped Cyclops.
Yeah, but this is
Pasty Pot Pete.
But this is what I'm telling you. They can pivot whenever they want. When you've got a backlog of characters waiting to come out, you can use that to your advantage whenever you need to.
But this is why I think there's going to be more than one character released at a time.
Oh, for sure. For sure. They just don't know who.
Because keep expectations low.
Right. They don't know what to pair them up with because, God forbid, you release too many tanks or too many things, and then you have people complaining that, oh, this match came out and their guys are using 5 tanks and a healer, and we can't do shit. Like that kind of nonsense, right? So they have to spread it out a little bit. But
Right, that's another thing.
Pivot. It's just to pivot.
You can't put all tanks in at the same time. You know what I mean? Roadkill, thank you very much for the gifted membership. Appreciate that very much. Okay, I don't know. Look, I'm excited. I'm excited that they keep adding more content. I'm excited that they keep adding more heroes. I just think I hear what they said. 1 every 6 weeks. Heroes 1 every 6 weeks. Maybe you get 2. Maybe you get 3 sometimes. Maybe it's not just a 1 every 6 weeks. It's minimum 1, right? So from that we go to GeForce Now. Is a cloud gaming service, Sarge. It's one of the probably the better ones out there, if not the best one out there. I read this one earlier this week. I want to get your thoughts on this a little bit, right? So GeForce Now game streaming is sold out for many, right? So this is a subscription service. This is a cloud-based system that you can play anywhere in the world. But GeForce Now, easy, convenient way to play PC games if you don't actually have a gaming PC, or you can fit a 30-pound desktop into your carry-on luggage. But it's a moment that we're going to have a hard time getting into the service if you don't already have a subscription. Most of the options for GeForce Now are currently sold out due to high demand. Okay, so I said this jokingly. I said, I'm the one that said that cloud gaming would get more. It'd be the majority of gaming in the next 6 to 7 years. I said about a year ago, right? So 5 to 6 years, and this is one step. Now, obviously, I think they're updating the servers and stuff like that. The servers because they're running out of space and more people are coming in. We read an article last week saying that 12% of people in Europe are now getting more subscription services for gaming. If it's EA or Ubisoft or Game Pass or PS Plus, whatever it is, it's up 12% for cloud gaming, right? For subscription services for gaming. So it says, according to the report, computer based in Germany, Tom's Hardware, which also allows free accounts, day passes, and 1 month passes, mostly unavailable. The site reports that 1 month and 6 month passes for Ultimate, Unlimited, or Ultimate are still available, as well as the 6 month performance passes. It says my existing free account seems to be functioning, but others in PC world are reporting that the option to create a GeForce Now account currently blocked out of at least some of the locations. Your experience might be different based on where you are in the world, right? So maybe they don't have servers if you're in Brazil. Maybe people in Brazil can't make an accounts and stuff now. But why do you think this is happening, Sarge? Do you think they're updating something? Do you think there's something more nefarious going on? Do you think this is nothing?
I'm trying to wrap my head around the actual issue. Is it they can't?
We don't know.
They can't sign up because why?
How do you
give you the reason why you can't sign up?
They just in certain areas, like if it's in it doesn't say where.
They say sold out. How
sold out meaning you can't make an account if you're in Australia, or if you're in if you're in certain regions, you cannot make an account. Meaning maybe the servers are at max capacity and they don't want to take any more.
Well, if we're going to take it down that road, then you would say this is one of those issues where it's a good problem to have.
Right. I think it's a good problem to have. I think it's a reason that they're expanding, right?
Right. If that's the case, then they're probably deciding how to expand. Do they need to have new server centers? Do they need?
They're saying that they've actually might be using the new graphics card. The new 50s series came out, so they're saying maybe they're updating to that for the new the graphics for the servers. They're saying maybe they're just updating the servers, perhaps, but no one knows. It's all hearsay. We don't know what's going on.
Well, when you don't know anything and you have reporters on the planet that can pick out the story for anyone at any time, I already know it's something. It's got to be somewhat serious. Otherwise, someone would know information.
Look, the way I look at it is that if it is the 50 series, I think not only is it maybe they're stopping and putting the new 50 series cards in there, but I also think that it's becoming more popular. And if it's becoming more popular, they need to put more servers in there, right? Because more people don't have the money to go put out for a $2,000 system, but they do have $30 where they can put in towards the month to play GeForce Now on any computer that you have.
Well, I would say I would wait to see what this article has to say when summer comes and everybody's out of school.
Right.
I would like to see if another article like this comes out in the summer about how they got updated or whatever else. Maybe they're just using the winter period of time. That could also be it, because the northern hemisphere is in winter, and since most of the population's in the northern hemisphere, when it's wintertime, most people are staying home, so more people are online. So then
Possible.
they don't have a lot of server space to have more accounts. Maybe a lot of people more than normal are online because everyone just wants to be inside the house. I mean, it could be all kinds of things. I would say that they don't have enough servers, and they're probably looking at how either if it's time to upgrade or not.
What time is it? 1:24. Okay, we got a couple stories left. We got another story from Bungie. I haven't done in a while. I haven't made new cars for Pete Carson. Bungie reportedly wanted to make a single player game instead of more live service titles. Sarge, I talked about this earlier this week.
Shenanigans.
I'm just going to let you speak. I'm gonna give you a rundown here. I'm not going to tell you what I said. Rumors have surfaced that Bungie developers want to work on a single-player project, and none of these ideas have been being approved. Bungie still has been working on Destiny 2 since 2017, launch pioneering some elements of live service trends. It remains popular in 2025. As a company, though, has proven successful in the avenue, and there's seemingly far less room to experiment when it comes to game format. Now, many fans of Destiny 2 enjoy the game's take on live service model, and Destiny franchise has been dominated genre for years, and its popularity may only diminish if a sequel is announced. Now, regardless, some still have hopes that AAA developer Bungie will make a return to its roots of games focused on single-player experience. It appears that it's possibility for the future to further off of some of the main images. So, obviously, Sony. I don't know if you know this, Sarge. Last week after the show, it was posted there after we went live, but they closed down 2 other live service games. Since then, there's been rumors of a third game, but there's been 9 games canceled total for live service. No, not at Bungie, but for Sony live service games, right? So now you read this, and Bungie reportedly wanted to make a single-player game instead of live service titles. So what do you think about Bungie? Will Sony let Bungie make single-player games at some point, or do you think they're stuck with live service?
Well, if they're asking to make a single-player game, that means they are not working on a single-player game. They're probably working on whatever else.
They're working on Marathon, and they're working on Gummy Bears, which is I think it's an RTS game, if I'm not mistaken.
So let's go down the rabbit hole just a little bit, right?
Yeah, Gummy Bears is a MOBA. It's a MOBA title, codenamed Gummy Bears. It's a MOBA and an extraction.
Yeah, so Sony wants to make money because they purchased Bungie. So they want their money back as fast as possible. They're probably looking at a 5 to 7 year return. So they need to probably make the next couple games that come out have to be either live servers or something really spectacular. So I'm sure they're hoping that Marathon does well, right? Because that's going to be a live service, right? So they need Marathon to work out well. If Marathon works out well, and this MOBA works out well, because I'm sure that's going to be skin related. They're going to have to sell microtransactions and whatnot, right? If those work out well, they'll probably consider allowing them to decide maybe to possibly make a single player game.
Right.
But according to what's been going on in their offices, especially with that article, you didn't watch it either. That whole big story about Bungie from Dark Side Royalty, the 2 hours. I got through like 45 minutes. There's so much shit going on at Bungie, right? I don't even know all the story yet. I want to watch the whole thing. But it seems to me that Bungie now has to play by somebody else's rules again. They're obligated to make live service games again. And so now they're stuck in this loop. Now, I don't believe they want to do Destiny 3. I'll be honest. I think after this much time of doing the Destiny games, I think you want to do something else.
Right.
And that's why they said they want to make a different single player game, which is fine. But there's no way Sony's letting them out of the clutches until they come out with a hit. Now, Marathon's a big deal, right? If
Marathon's the linchpin, I think, in this whole thing.
Yeah, if Marathon doesn't do well, then I presume more firings in Bungie's offices. Let's put it that way. The Gummy Bear thing, or whatever the hell it is, the MOBA market's pretty much sealed up, bro. If you think Bungie's going to come out with a MOBA game that's going to move the other MOBAs that are already out there, that's a big, tall order, right? So you're stuck between making a Destiny sequel, half-ass games that have already come out you're trying to redo, which is Marathon, or go your own way. That's why they're asking to do a different game, because they want to try something different, because I'm sure most of that staff has gone completely bonkers.
Right.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine working on the same game for 12 years?
I've said this in the past, right? Artists want to work on different things. Coming from a film industry, I would hate working on, like, if you worked on a television show, you work on the television show for the summer, right? And then after the summer's done, you go make a movie, you go make a commercial, you go do different things, right? And then your steady checks going back to that season 2 of that show. But you want to go do as many things as possible. As a gamer, right? A television show is done in a couple weeks.
But you want
a gamer's on a game for 5 years, 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, but you're right. But you want a steady job, you want a steady paycheck, right? So
right.
If you know the game's successful, you can.
It's a double-edged sword. Yeah,
right?
It's a double-edged sword.
But at the same time, after this much time, I'm going to say this: Sony wants their money back ASAP. I'm pretty sure the deal that went down between Sony and Bungie was not 100% on the level. What Sony inherited from Bungie wasn't exactly what they thought they were going to get, and now Bungie has to make good on the deal that they have. So Marathon's the linchpin. I'm not sure what Krebsy's saying is true or not true. If it's his actual belief system, if it's part of Bungie or part of another Sony.
Yeah, I was going to reference that.
Yeah. Either way, Marathon's the linchpin.
Here's the thing: when we read articles, I speak based on what I've read, and what I'm reading is what the article says. Now, Krebsy, if you're saying you don't care what the article says, it's wrong. That might be true, but that's the thing I'm reading, right? Because that's what's on the screen. So if the article's wrong, which 100% could be. Okay. But think about it from this way. I know who you are, Krebsy. I don't think you're lying to me. But at the same time, to stop this conversation going back and forth saying that I'm wrong, I'm just reading what's on the screen. And what the screen says, okay, it says, like Bungie, plans for live service gaming are slowing down anytime soon. In addition to development of Marathon, the team has been hard at work on a new MOBA titled codenamed Gummy Bears. The team working on this game has been integrated into a new PlayStation studio, which is answering what you're saying is that Bungie's not working on it, but Bungie did work on it. Bungie worked on it to a certain point, and then Sony integrated them into a new studio, which means that Bungie was working on this MOBA game while they were also working on Marathon. Maybe they're not working on it now, but at the time, they were working on a MOBA, and they were working on an Extraction, which was Marathon, which is what I read in the article.
Yeah, I think Bungie as a company itself is in trouble because of the fact that they've put themselves into their own corner. Like they've literally painted themselves into a corner. I think the deal, as I said, the deal wasn't 100% on the level, and now they're obligated. And I don't know if Bungie can survive the company itself if another failure happens.
No, they signed the deal with the devil. That's what they did.
Right, Destiny.
And I'm not calling Sony the devil. I'm just saying they're just make bad decisions along the way.
No,
Bungie.
Destiny does well, but I don't know if Destiny now, after the cherry's been put on the sundae, that how long this goes for before you have to pivot to do something else. Right? You got to do something else. I mean, we're going to see. I mean, I hope that Marathon does well. The issue is, once again, you're trying to go backwards in time for nostalgia with a redone version of a game that they already did. Right? Instead of doing something new, you're doing something you already did. Right? That's the issue. And if they weren't doing Marathon, they were going to try to do Destiny 3, right? Once again, you're doing the same thing you just did. So what is it you guys are trying to innovate with? But I don't think Sony cares. Sony wants the paycheck.
Yeah, well, look, Sony paid $3.2 billion for Bungie to help them with live service games. So you better believe they're going to get those $3.2 billion worth out of them to try to make a live service work.
Live service.
Right? Yeah. And right now, 9 games. There's been 9 games canceled of a live service aspect in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but not Bungie.
No. Sony's
investments in live service games.
Yeah, 9 games have been canceled so far. Of the 12...
But that doesn't mean they stopped asking Bungie.
No. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's why they're not making that single player game anytime soon, because they need live service games going through. Robert Jones, that's exactly what this says here, right? What you're saying is, to my understanding, they took Bungie team that was working on them and moved them into a Sony. That's what it says. The team working on this game has been integrated into a PlayStation studio. That's exactly what it means. Okay, so. But that doesn't make the fact still stands that Bungie was working on Marathon and Bungie was working on a MOBA at the same time. They were underwater, and Sony's like, all right, we'll help you. We're going to take these people over here, and you're going to go over here. You guys work on Marathon. A small team still works on Destiny. keep that live service game going. They're like, but we really want to make a single player game. They're like, that's nice. That's nice.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like,
Right.
we didn't buy you for your single player aspects.
Right. And we all know Bungie is not good with money. Right. So right now, whatever happened to the $3.2 billion that they paid for Bungie, I'm pretty sure we should put some new cars in Pete Parsons' screen. For
I haven't done it in a while. We're definitely going to put them in
because they're not good with money. So I want to see. In order for me to understand what Bungie's doing right now, I got to see what Marathon is. You got to show me Marathon. Like I got to see.
Like I said, Marathon's the linchpin. Here it is, right? If Bungie does really good with Marathon, then they're stuck doing Marathon, right? They're stuck doing Marathon
for a while.
For a while, okay. If Marathon bombs, they're getting fired, okay.
Well,
and then they have to work on the next live service game, right? They're stuck in. There's no way that Sony's going to be like, yeah, Marathon's doing fantastic. Yeah, why don't you guys start working on that single player game you pitched us? No, they're gonna be like, no, we need another season of Marathon. We need the next 5 years laid out for Marathon. Okay, they're like, yeah, you can take a small team and go make that single player game and let us know what it is. But we also need you to make a next live service game because Marathon's banging right now, and we're making a shit ton of money, right?
Yeah. What makes me laugh is how can they do well enough to get enough money to buy themselves back out of it?
You can't.
When if they do well, the company's worth more to buy out, right? You'd have to suck. They're
not buying out. Bungie's stuck.
No. I know they're stuck.
Yeah, so they're in trouble because if Marathon bangs, then they're stuck in Marathon, and they're stuck in that thing. And as the article says, Bungie wanted a single player. They want to do the next single player game. They don't get to do that. They're like, sorry, you made your bed, now lay in it. You were a live service dominant. You got paid to be live service, and now you're going to make live service, and you're going to like it, right?
That's it.
And if it fails, this whole group gets fired, and then we'll bring someone else in like a tissue, and then those people will make the next live service game for us.
I'm sorry if I asked a dumb question because I don't play Destiny for many years now. Is Destiny's story over? Is the final? The
final shape was the end story. They're still continuing, like the main story is done as of right now.
Okay,
but there's still
story. Still there. The live service part of that game is still there, right? It's still generating revenue. Like no one stopped playing the game, but I'm sure eventually, because there's nothing else to look forward to, people will start trickling off to play something else because there's nothing else to do in that game.
Right. All right. The last topic was Xbox did their Xbox Live Direct, or the Xbox Direct. Okay. So
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was. I had no expectation whatsoever. They started off with the Developer Direct, and they came swinging right out of the gates. You played Ninja Gaiden back in the day, Sarge. Are you a big fan of Ninja Gaiden? When's the last one? I haven't played the last couple ones. Like I played old school Ninja Gaiden, right?
I think maybe there was one done where I'm trying to think of the year.
It's been over 20 years for me.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't even think I've played a Ninja Gaiden in this new century. Okay, it was in the 1900s the last time I played.
1900s.
It was in the 1900s when I played the last Ninja Gaiden. But Ninja Gaiden 4 was announced, okay, and it looked good. It looked good. I have no interest personally with it, but it looked good. And not only did they announce Ninja Gaiden 4, but as of right now, you can play the remaster of Ninja Gaiden 2 on Game Pass. So they announced that and showed that off, right? So that was very exciting for people that are Ninja Gaiden fans, okay? Second, okay, so you have Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Okay, speaking of Ninja Gaiden 2, so that's coming out. Remake is available right now on Game Pass. Then they showed South of Midnight. Okay, South of Midnight. This is going to be the next game, Sarge, that the YouTubers are going to make video after video after video after video of DEI and all this other stuff. But I don't care about that. I want to talk about what we saw with the game. And the game, to me,
it looks like a redone version of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah,
like the story.
That's a good example. Yeah, it feels like an Alice in Wonderland type of story, but in the South. Okay, It's got this stop motion type of claymation style to it. Graphics and art design look spectacular for it. Right, I don't know anything about the story or anything. The gameplay, the fighting mechanics in this gameplay, Sarge, it came to me when I watched it today. I said, you know what this reminds me of? I said right on stream. I said, it reminds me of Hogwarts Legacy, the magic system. And I was worried about Hogwarts Legacy's magic system when they first showed it to us. Remember 2 years ago, I was like, ah, man, this game looks great, but I'm worried about the fighting style of it, right? I was like, then I played it and I was like, this is great. This is a fantastic like fighting style that they've created in this game. That's what reminds me of this. This reminds me of Hogwarts Legacy magic system and the way they do certain things and the way she was fighting. I think it looks good. I think it's look. I always say make a game, sell a game. If the game comes out and it's their vision that they wanted to say, fantastic. Stick by your vision, what it is. Don't preach to me. Just give me your vision. Okay, and if I like the game or don't like the game, it's not because I'm sexist, racist, or misogynistic. I like or hate your game because I don't like the gameplay mechanics. I didn't like the story. I don't like the fighting mechanic. Whatever it is, right? That's why I like or don't like your games. But it looks good. I'm intrigued by this. Is this something that you would be interested playing, or is this not your type of cup of tea?
Well, you might have said this because I didn't watch your morning show today. But this is the type of game that I wouldn't go out and buy. However,
it's on Game Pass. Yeah.
So if I'm sitting around one night and I'm going through my Game Pass list and I see it, I'm probably going to download it to try it. Right? That's just how that's going to go. But this probably wouldn't be a game that I would purchase. I'm just
right. I would never purchase this, but I would 100% play it and give it a shot.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what I did say that this afternoon. The third game they showed us, this is another game that I'm not interested in, right? But doesn't mean because I'm not interested in it, doesn't mean it's a great value. These are 4 games that are all 5 games that are coming to Game Pass day and date.
I like this one because I like the in an innovative way that they're using turn-based technology.
Yeah.
When they started talking about when it's the enemy's turn, that if you were to move the stick at the right point, you can actually dodge the attack as opposed to rolling dice.
Right. Interactive.
Right.
It's an interactive turn-based.
As opposed to there be behind the scenes rolling of the dice, percentage chance of you dodging, where you can actually have a factor in the dodge. That's interesting.
This one, Expedition 33, this looked interesting. I like the style of it. Again, another beautifully graphically game. Art style looks good. The way the graphics, the UI was all popping up reminded me, and I didn't play this game myself, but it reminded me of like a Persona 5 type of game, the way the menu systems were popping up and the action sequences are starting up. But then it looked much bigger, like the skill tree and stuff that popped open in this. I was just like, oh, okay. This is another game I might not like, but I'm going to give it a shot. Why? Game Pass. It's on Game Pass, so why the hell not? Okay. Now, the one game that I'm actually interested in, but I had no interest in the prequels that came before it, was Doom. Okay. Doom: The Dark Ages. This looked fucking amazing. Right? The shield, the chainsaw shield, and what they were talking about you can make it as fast or slow, the options of making it harder or easier for you as you're going, the options, right? The melee, the guns, the graphics of this, the way the animations, that one gun they were showing with the skulls being like destroyed and the shotgun was blasting
it's a rapid fire shotgun that is the ammo is crushed skull pieces.
Yeah. I didn't play the other two. Did you play any of the new ones?
I
didn't play the 2016. I didn't play the 2018.
I played the remake one back in the day when they re-released them. I played that one. Like when I watched this, right? This made me feel the same way when I saw Doom 3. Like when they had reimagined the series and the graphics were updated on the computers, like that's the same way I looked at this and I'm thinking that I feel like almost the same way that you're excited to want to play it. Because I listen, I used to sneak play Doom at school during computer class.
Yeah.
Right back in the day. Like I loved the original Doom series.
I played the crap out of the original Doom.
All the secrets, all the things, and the way that the game has advanced. Right, like the speed. Like I wasn't into the one that was really fast is the one I couldn't play because my hand-eye is not the same as it once was. No doubt, I'm the old man. But this one, because they actually said it, like this one's not about speed; it's about tanking. And I'm like, I got a shot. Yeah, I got a shot at this. I got a shot because I don't have to.
Well, you could also slow it down in the system.
That's the other thing. They said that you can actually have options on the bars and slow down the game. I'm like, see, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. a game made for consumers. Let us play the game how we want to play the game.
Right. You make it. Let me play how I want to play.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
And it sounded like they had Guar do the music, like the death metal or whatever was going on in the background of that music that was playing. I was all kinds of crazed out. I haven't listened to like hard metal in a long time, and I was all pumped up. I was like, "Let's go! This game coming out soon."
The one thing that sold me is that they were showing the game, and then all of a sudden they showed you get into that giant mech. I was like, what?
Yeah, what?
I was like, what is that? And then they showed you get on a flying dragon. I was like, what?
Yeah, they went completely off the rails, bro.
Krebsy says it right here. He says, I think Doom should have added rogue mode or co-op. I thought they were going to say it. They're like, and one more thing. I was like, are they going to add co-op? I was like, that would have been amazing, right? Like, I got excited for this. Now I think I have to go back and play the other two.
Yeah, this game has always been one man versus the world. That's how it works. Like the savior of humanity. That's how this goes. It looks really good. Like this game, I'm hoping does it come out this year? Did they say this year?
Yeah, no. This comes out in May.
Okay.
Right. So all these games,
kind of
May. This is another thing.
May?
No, May 15th. May 15th is what they say. Well, nothing's guaranteed anymore, Sarge.
Yeah, I know.
Right? They could delay it 3 weeks before or whatever.
Don't forget. We got to put the game of dates now. We're getting dates now. It's starting January. We got to put these dates down. I'm gonna start.
All right. So these are the dates of all 4 games. Okay. You got Ninja Gaiden comes out in the fall of 2025, but Ninja Gaiden 2 is out today. Okay. So January, boom. There's the remaster, whatever, for Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Okay. Then you have April 8th, South of Midnight. Okay. South of Midnight comes out April 8th. Then just 2 weeks later, Sarge, Expedition 33 comes out April 24th. Okay. And then from April 24th, just 2.5 or 3 weeks later, Doom the Dark Ages comes out May 15th. Okay. Before that even comes out, you have Avowed that comes out in February. All right. It's like 2 weeks away now. 2 weeks, 3 weeks away. So you have that coming out in February. So you have Avowed coming out, South of Midnight, Doom the Dark Ages, Expedition 33, and Ninja Gaiden. That's just 5 games that we know this year from. Look, in all these games, I believe Doom the Dark Ages, I know, is on PlayStation. Expedition 33, I believe, is also on PlayStation. Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out on all systems as well, right?
It's finally nice to see some positive momentum, right? Like announcements are made. These games look good. They look well done and finished, and they're on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Right. So it's nice to see them come out of the gate for the beginning of the year with good positive momentum. Like this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
Now Ninja Gaiden 4 says fall, right?
Right. It could get pushed.
Well, we all listen. We know the clock is ticking on that game. You're going to forget all about Ninja Gaiden 4
when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out.
It comes out anywhere near Grand Theft Auto 6.
That's right. This is why they're saying fall, but they don't want to tell you a date because if that date happens to fall in the same time frame, it's exactly right. Right. Absolutely. This is why they're like, you know what we need to do? Let's take some of these games and push them up in the front part of the year here. So let's get them out of here. Right. That's exactly right.
Right.
That's exactly right, Krebsy. Ninja who? That's exactly what would happen if Ninja Gaiden comes out anywhere near Grand Theft Auto 6. Okay. They're all waiting for the Grand Theft Auto date, right? The whole industry is waiting for the Grand Theft Auto date. I thought this was interesting, Sarge. There's another article I didn't bring up in here, and before we do the Q&A, guys, and if you guys want to get your Q&A questions in, go ahead. The red bar's up. Hit the Q&A. We'll put some. We'll mark them, and then we'll answer your questions in just a bit. There's article after article that I've noticed, Sarge. We were going to talk about the tariff thing. I have a video about the tariffs. If you guys want to go watch that, watch that. Our tariff's going to make video games more expensive, but there was a bunch of other articles. They're all speaking of the Grand Theft Auto 6 and how Grand Theft Auto 6, like the industry is waiting for them to raise the price to $80 to $100, right? They're waiting. They're like, come on, baby, just do it. We went from 60 to 70. We can go from 70 to 80 minimum, right? Like everyone else is waiting for Grand Theft Auto. Now, I don't look at it that way, right? Like if Grand Theft Auto comes out and says $80, we know how big Grand Theft Auto is in the past. They can get away with it, right? You're not getting away with an $80 game of like a Marvel's Avengers game that comes back out like the way it was, or Suicide Squad at $80. Okay, people will be like, "No, I don't think so. We got burned by those games that were now $70."
You're burned now.
That's what I'm saying.
Raise it up $10 more to get burned
Right.
again? No.
Right. And I said this. I said the higher the prices go, the better the services look. I don't care if it's EA Play, Ubisoft Plus, okay, PlayStation Plus, and Game Pass. Okay. The higher the game prices go, Game Pass is in this like premium location right now because if they keep raising the prices and Game Pass is still staying at $20 Ultimate and $12 on PC, everyone's gonna be like, I'm not paying $100 for a video game. I'll get Game Pass for 1 month and play the 4 games that come out in the next month and a half or whatever, you know? So I do find it weird though that the industry wants Grand Theft Auto, right? And the obviously the industry wants to make more money, but the journalists are all like, yeah, $80, $100 game. It's like, what? What are you doing? Nobody wants a $100 game. Nobody.
Well, you would have to assess what you believe a $100 game should be. Like if I understand the amount of money they're making for that game, but you have to also understand how
Make
much
sure you're talking inside the mic, Sarge.
You have to understand how much money they've actually made over the last 8-9 years with Grand Theft Auto 5 online, like the obscene amount of money. Right now, I could understand that you want the next game to be just as good because you got to keep up the hype. You got to keep up the hype train. But let's also not forget that they made a ridiculous amount. They're in the billions. How much money they made on Grand Theft Auto Online? The billions, not millions, the billions. Okay, and they've canceled every other game they've ever had. Nothing else has come out. It's just Grand Theft Auto. Right, they just keep making the stuff for Grand Theft Auto to keep people busy into Grand Theft Auto, and so now we're just going to go to GTA 6. So in that aspect, maybe it's a $100 game, but once again, the market is what the market does. If you pay for a $100 game and enough of you pay for a $100 game, then games are going to be $100.
Sure.
If you don't buy it, right, then you don't buy it. You wait. Now, once again, this is the game that we're going to have to play now because it's not as easy as it once was. Games are digital. If I don't buy the latest, greatest thing because it's too much money, option one is let's hope it comes up on Game Pass, but I don't know what the rules are for Grand Theft Auto.
Right. Well, we've talked about it in the past.
We don't know
who
what
pays,
the rules are going to
who
be.
pays for it to get that exclusive, right?
Yeah, we don't know what the rules are going to be for Grand Theft Auto on Game Pass, if at all, right? But if you decide I don't want the game, Walmart's not going to sell it on sale, right?
No.
I'm not sure if retail stores are going to get like copies of games, digital numbers, and then are able to play the game where like I buy a bunch of copies of Grand Theft Auto, and because I sell deodorant for $1 more, I can sell GTA for $10 less. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
That's
again.
just it, though. Like
Right.
the digital
It's
versions,
digital
they don't
and
go on
that's it.
sale. They don't go on. They
don't.
Right.
They don't.
You can wait 5 years from now, and it'll still be the same price it was when it first came out day one. Right. You have to wait for those moments where they give you that 20% off, that 30% off. There's no secondhand market. Right. If it comes out, there is no secondhand market anymore.
There's no more. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, it's not going to happen right away, but it is going to happen because of the fact that there is no secondhand market. There might be some kind of loophole, not for a monopoly, but for consumer protection, because they don't have any choice of where to buy the game.
Right.
Because you can only buy it from them. Like that might be an issue. Maybe not right away. But if you were going to draw attention to a game and cause that law to come into effect where we need choices as consumers, and that's been done in the past, I would think you would pick a big game like Grand Theft Auto 6 in order to help publicize it. I wouldn't wait for like Ninja Gaiden 4.
Right.
Don't worry about a $100 game. You would use the best ammunition you have, and that would be it.
Robert Jones says games already come out at $130. Yeah, but not the standard edition.
Right. We're talking about standard edition.
We're talking about standard edition, $80 to $100 for the standard edition. If you're getting a trophy, a statue, a duffel bag, a helmet, right, and you're paying that much, cool. But we're talking standard price is now going to be $130, right, or $100, and then the special edition is going to be $150, $170, right? Right here. Clip says I bought a $200 edition of Grand Theft Auto 4, but it also came with stuff. I still have the duffel bag and the lockbox. Right, you have physical stuff, right? That came with it, so you're subsidizing it for that thing. Salty says I can't click on it. $100 game. Salty laughs on his pirate boat. Yeah, I mean that's what's gonna happen. Krebsy's the only one asking questions, Sarge. No one else is asking questions. We have 5 questions for Krebsy
It's fine. We got time.
in the stash here.
I just think we're reaching a point now where the games cost just as much as the games costed back in the 80s. Right? The Atari games and the games like that, when the games first started coming out, were $80 games, $75 games, and that was a lot of money back then. And now we're back at that same level.
Yeah.
50 years later, or 40 plus years later. It just seems strange. It seems strange because you could say that a certain game might be worth that much money, but at the same time, you have options of buying a game. Back then, you don't have options of buying anymore.
Right. We joked earlier in stream when we were talking about this, and some of us said that watch that Grand Theft Auto comes out and doesn't charge extra. They just stay at $70, right? And they're just like, we don't need to charge more because we know what we're going to get.
Right. The online version.
So,
well, let's put it this way: do you think after the catastrophic release of GTA 5 online back then, do you think they've overcome those obstacles, and now with new engines, new hardware, that they're able to release a more clean version of the online game when it first comes out?
Hopefully.
Like, do you think they follow the same kind of roadmap where they, excuse me, I hate the word roadmap. Do you think they're following the same procedure where the game comes out?
That's a song. I need to make a roadmap song.
Everybody gets to play it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then the online thing comes out. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't, like the online version isn't day one.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Real quick, Eric says they may not raise the price too much as well for GTA 6 because they wouldn't want to scare off people from the sales from the new shark cards and the next online bit. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier in my live stream on the Daily Grind.
The big one, the big one for me, right, is do they make everybody start over, or does your funds for the shark cards transfer from GTA 5?
Right, we talked about this. Like, do you get in the airport and fly to the next location? You know what I mean? And you transfer all your stuff over.
Like all the money you have spent inside game. Does everybody start over? Because see, to me, that's why I laugh at all the people that spend all this kind of money for the game, but then you don't get to take anything with you.
Well, here's the thing. I think the online aspect,
zero chance, right?
I think the online aspect is the big factor here. I don't think Grand Theft Auto has to come out and charge $80 or $100 for the game. Right? They give $70, just like Baldur's Gate 3, right? Baldur's Gate 3 is a large game, right? We got you that we bought you that box set, $80, right? How much shit did you get in that box for $80? Okay.
It reminds me of getting the shit back in the day when those games used to come out back in the day.
Right. Okay.
That was a standard game though. When you got the standard game, it came with all that stuff inside. That's what it was.
Right. Grand Theft Auto, I think, can stay at the price. I would laugh my ass off if they're like $60. They go back down to $60. Could you imagine? How many people would lose their shit?
That would depend on how consumer friendly they actually are.
They've sold 200 million copies of Grand Theft Auto 5. Right? They could sell it for $60. Obviously, they're not going to, but they could sell it for $60, and they would sell double because people are like, "Oh, Rockstar!" Right? They would 100%. Freak out because they know they're going to make the money back on online.
Yeah, but to me, I think some people in chat are mentioning it. To me, I think the what I'm going to be looking for is how do you transfer those people who are playing Grand Theft Auto 5 over to GTA 6? Do you keep playing 5 and 6?
They keep 5 open,
right? You think they keep 5 open for as long as they can?
I think they keep 5 open and then they put 6 in because 6 I think is going to start off as just online in Florida. But I think the mission is to take 5 and bring it into 6.
And connect them.
Yeah. Not actually take 5 into 6, but the world of Liberty City and San Andreas, move it over into the online world They've talked about this for like years.
No, I know that, but this is what this is how I add the math up, right? They don't make any other games. Right? All the money they made is for this game, right? They've had plenty of time to test out and do whatever with the new hardware. They've had plenty of time, a decade, over a decade, right? So now to me, the end game for them is to make GTA World where like you get in and fly and go to 5, go to 4, like you just go there. right? That to me would be like their end game. Like, it's
Right. This is the
GTA,
last GTA.
it's the GTA universe type of thing.
Yes.
Like, you're gonna go. I mean,
This is the meta.
they can still do San Andreas over
Right.
again.
What I'm saying is Rockstar goes meta. This is like what Facebook's trying to do and what Epic's trying to do. They do that with this game. After the story, they just make the online version and they bring all the worlds they've created and they just keep adding on to that after that.
Right. I think that would be the end game, because then you're perpetually inside Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, because where are you going to go graphically? Where are you going to go? They're at the top. The ceiling is there.
Well, let me tell you to it this way, right? And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm just looking at from the past to now. Like, you know how big Liberty City was originally, right? Like in the original game.
Yeah.
First came out. And you know how big GTA 4 was, right? So now we've all seen the map for GTA 6, how big it is. Incorporates Florida, the Keys, some of the Bahamas islands, like Orlando. We see all that crap on the map. So if you were going to redo and redone and make a GTA universe, then you would also put San Andreas back in. So like, that's where you're going eventually. So now, whether or not you make another game or you just keep adding on until you fill in the rest of the world, but that to me seems like end game, right? Listen, I'm excited to play it, but I'm gonna miss the fact that there won't be a midnight release or people waiting in line.
Yeah,
like, it's just gonna be like, who's pre-ordering? Like, what do you care a shit about? What do you care if you pre-order? Like, whenever I feel like it, I'll just download the game and play it. Like, you know what I mean? Like the whole videos of everyone else, let's go. Like we're not getting that.
No, it's gonna be like a wet fart. It's like,
yeah. It'll just be like, it's out. Great. Anyone playing it yet? It's streaming.
Yep, that's it. You're gonna see the people reviewing it ahead of time.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, let's get to the Q&A section here. Okay. Do we have one more? I think we have one more. No, we have one more. Okay, so we got 9. We got 9 of them. Okay, first one up.
I'm not that big of a boomer, Rubber. I'm not going to wait in line for a game that's digital. I'm not that big of a boomer.
Krebsy says, are comics all connected? Asking for someone else. Stop it. Yeah. We were playing with Travis the other day, and he said all comics are connected. I'm like, what? No, that's not true. Okay.
That's also a problem, Solemn. I think that so many people are going to be downloading the game day one that the servers are going to lock up, that you can't even download the game. I think that's an actual thing.
We'll see. Next question is, do you think EA will change the name of BioWare after 3 not well-received games and 2 of them not meeting EA's expectations, or just close them because they can't be repaired? I think Mass Effect is that linchpin for them. If Mass Effect comes out, the next Mass Effect comes out and bombs, BioWare is done. They will not exist anymore. They'll just exist maybe by name, but I doubt it. I think BioWare will fold them and they'll be done. What do you think, Sarge?
I don't. Oh my God, it's almost like it's done on purpose. Like all the old games of old, all the IPs are supposed to die, and we're supposed to wait for someone to invent something new, which they're not going to do. I really hope that the new Mass Effect is done well, but I don't hold my breath anymore.
Mass Effect series is one of my favorite series of all time.
Like to me, the epic part I did was after the third one came out, I decided to do a crossover with all 3. I played the first one over again. I transferred the character to the second one, and then I transferred over to the third. I played the Star Wars trilogy of Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Transfer the character over, and it was the longest game I've ever played. It took me like a month or so to play it all out, and it was just fun as hell.
Excuse me.
But I don't know if we're going to capture that again, because I don't know that the present day dev teams know the soul of the game. Right? Every time they come out with an IP that's already been out and it's always half-assed, I always ask myself, did they play the original? Did any of these guys ever sit down and play the original
the game
and play it to know what it is? Because it's almost like they read about it and then they make the game. They didn't actually play it. Because if you played it, you would know how to develop the game and what people liked about it. But if you just read about it and then you watch them how they develop a game. They're like, well, we definitely know you looked at it. Like you're trying to copy certain things, but the soul of the game is missing. Like that's what my fear is. Like it's all balls and no soul. That's what it is.
Right.
They don't have the experience to make the game the way it's supposed to.
Next question is: do you think that companies shouldn't sell collector's editions till after the game releases? Say you get a $200 collector's and then the game's ass.
But that's because they know that's when you want to sell the collector's edition.
Yeah, no, I think if
somebody always wants the biggest, baddest thing. If you would wait till the game sells well and then sell a collector's edition,
yeah,
you've been selling that money, bro.
Yeah, no, I think it's okay the way they do the collector's edition. I think if people want to spend extra money to get the collector's mug or a T-shirt or a statue, that's fine. I have never had a problem with that because those are physical items. I have a problem with a game that sells digital items only. Okay, they're like, oh, if you buy the $200 version, we'll give you this microtransaction. Like Path of Exile and stuff does this too. I don't agree with that stuff because when you're done playing the game, you don't have anything to show for it, and you paid a shit ton of extra money. Now, Path of Exile is a little weird example because it's a free-to-play game. I don't like games that you pay for full price for, and there's nothing to show for it afterwards. You know what I mean? Like that's what I don't like. So I like the collector statues and stuff like that. I have no problem with that. Anything else to this one, Sarge?
No, but it's one of these things where I don't even think about it anymore because I know how the industry is. I'm hoping it's going to be good.
Next one is if you have to make a single player Destiny game, what would that game look like? Would you want Cade's origin story, forming the Vanguard, or a story about the Fallen? Anything? Well, you go first, Sarge. You have.
I would say the game should be right before the collapse. I want to see humanity when it was actually functioning everywhere, and then the whole game is it. I'll give it to you straight. It's almost kind of like Reach, where it's the pinnacle of humanity, and then everything's collapsing on itself because you're being attacked, and the storyline is you battling, trying to win, but you know at the end you're not going to.
Right.
And then when you finally die at the end, the climax is understanding that the ghosts are there now because the Traveler comes and you get to be picked as like one of the first Guardians to come back from the dead for what you did to stop the collapse. I think that would be an awesome storyline.
This is what I would do. Sort of like what you're saying, Krebsy, with Arcade origin story. I would do a game in a completely different format, right? Remember Detroit Become Human? How you played multiple protagonists, you played different stories from different viewpoints in their own like contained story, but there was an overall story. I would do it something along the lines of that. So we know what Destiny is, and we know Cade and Ikora and Zavala were all in the tower. I would take a story before that, and each story, you are Zavala, you are Ikora, you are Cade, and you're going through story missions leading up to getting to the tower, where you start when you're the Guardian, you wake up and then you end up at the tower. But you tell the story from their POV, what they did before they got to the tower, and the stuff like that. Like, I think that would be a cool way to do it if I had to do a Destiny single-player story. I don't want a character where I create. I want a character like a God of War where you're giving me the character, and then you're telling me the story through their eyes to the certain point, because we already know what happens after that point, right? So the prequel should be through their eyes and what they had to go through and stuff like that. That's probably what I would do for a Destiny 1.
And you'd have to have more freedom of movement where you could have melee attacks as well as guns. It wouldn't just be a gun game.
Yeah. All right, next one. Do you think the Switch 2 would be a Wii U situation? Reasons following. I think we could have... I mean, look, Crazy Uncle Nintendo does what it wants, and Crazy Uncle Nintendo decided to make Switch 2, the sequel to the Switch. Okay, they've never done a sequel to one of their other consoles before, besides the 3DS, stuff like that, right? They've never, for their main consoles, they didn't make like an NES 2. They didn't make a N64 2. They didn't make a GameCube 2. They went to the next console. This one, they know their market, and it's going to be a little weird. So they did the Wii, and then the Wii U, okay? And it bombed because of what they were trying to do. But the Switch and the Switch 2, I think we have a situation right now, all depending on what happens. I said it, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, is I feel like this is a PlayStation Plus. This is a Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X situation where it's like, is there a big enough upgrade for me to justify getting a Switch 2? And if not, then why am I getting a Switch 2? Right? So you could have that situation of, you could have a Wii U situation where it's like, why did you make this if it's playing almost the exact same? It's more powerful. You're playing more more third-party games. Is that worth it for the Nintendo crowd that wants to play Nintendo games, not third-party games?
Yeah, but you know what? I think Nintendo knows exactly what it's doing. It's incremental enough to where if you're an up-and-coming person who doesn't have a handheld, right? Remember, there's kids being born all the time. There's a new cycle of kids growing up, right? So you just stop selling the original Switch. Like whatever's already made, you made, and you sell them. And then the Switch 2 comes out, and that's what you sell. So it's not like you're actively pursuing the new Switch. It's just that these games come out, you make the games better, and you go, oh, these games are a lot cooler. They do these things instead of what this did. And so at the tail end of Switch 1, you're like, well, why would I buy Switch 1? Switch 2's out. And you know what I mean? Like you're not really forcing anyone to upgrade. You just stop selling the first one and you only sell the second one. And Nintendo goes on happily ever after. That's what they do. Right? That's why they're so perfect in the games, because it's not really an upgrade. It is, but if the Switch 2 plays all the
most of them,
ones,
it does.
The only reason why you need to upgrade is because you're selling a game that looks better, does better things on the new Switch. So the ones that have a Switch go, well, it plays all my old Switches anyway, and it plays all the games on my old.
Right,
and my
the selling
Switch
point.
And my Switch is old now. The Joy-Cons are starting to go. The screen's cracked because I've dropped it 75 times. So it's time for me to get a new one anyway. So then I just get a second one. I get the Switch 2.
Yeah.
It falls right in line.
I wonder if they're going to take the Switch 2 and put it into the Switch, like the sales as the Switch. I don't know. Next question.
I mean, if the price point, I'll be honest, bro, if the price point's $50 more, it's the same, right?
I think it's going to be $399
instead of $299.
Right?
Was the original Switch $299?
It was $299 and $350 or $349
for the bigger memory card,
something like that. Yeah, or the OLED, I think it is. Right. Roadkill says, "Do you think what is that? Grand Tiz going to get delayed out of the first half for the year?"
I think he means Grand Theft Auto, right? Does he mean Grand Theft Auto?
Is that supposed to be GTA? Roadkill, let me know what you mean by that. I don't know what you. I'm confused.
He stroked out in the middle of him typing.
Yeah, just we'll come back to that. Yeah. Next question is: since Dragon Age Veilguard failed, do you think the devs will still look for a new audience that they are missing out on games? Yeah, I don't know. Altern, they're still searching for this built-in audience that they come when they completely change the game.
It's not an audience.
Right.
It's not an audience.
These are people. Look, Marvel learned the hard way. They made movies for people that weren't Marvel fans.
You have your audience. You sold it to them.
That's correct.
You sold the number of games to the audience you thought was there.
Correct. 1.5 million. And some of those weren't even your audience because now you burn them and they're not your audience anymore because you didn't give them the game they thought they were getting.
But you can't really blame them though. You have to blame the consumer. You don't have to buy Game Day 1 anymore. You can
No. But what I'm saying is you burned the bridge, right? Like they were like, "Oh, great, a Dragon Age game," and they started playing like, "What's this? This is not Dragon Age." Right? So you, out of that 1.5 million people that bought it, maybe 400,000 people are like, yeah, I'm not going to buy your next game. You've burned me here. I don't know.
We'll see.
We shall see. Did Roadkill answer the question? No, he's laughing. Okay. Yeah. So it's GTA. Okay. So it's GTA. So let's go back to his question. Okay. Do you think GTA is going to get delayed or come out this first half of year? Oh, no, it's definitely not coming out the first half of the year. There's no way that
he means he comes out the first half of the year of next year. Delayed.
Pushed out.
He thinks it's not going to come out
first half of the year.
It's not going to come out in the fall. It's going to come out in the early part of
get delayed or come out this first half of the year.
Yeah. It's not coming out early.
No, it's definitely not coming out early. And I don't know. Here's the thing. We were wrong every single time we thought Grand Theft Auto was coming out for the last 4 years. It was like, it's 2020, 2020 is going to be the year. Nope, 2021's the year, right? Here we are, it's 2025. Maybe? I don't know. If they show the trailer in April, it's coming out this year. If they don't show the trailer in April, then it's not coming out this year. That's what I'll say.
I mean, they have to be close. They're not working on anything else.
They always do the traditional trailer, right? The woman comes on and says, this is Grand Theft Auto, and this is what you can do in Grand Theft Auto. She did it for Red Dead. She did it for Grand Theft Auto, right? When that trailer drops, that's when it's coming out, okay? If nobody talks and they just show gameplay, not characters in game, I'm talking about the lady that tells you, in Grand Theft Auto, you can now go all the streets, and this is how many cars.
It's the movie phone girl.
Yeah. If that woman shows up in the thing, or a guy shows up and starts to talk to you, not in the game, just the announcer, that's when the game's coming out this year. If it doesn't, next year. That's my answer. You think it's coming out this year, Sarge?
I think it's pretty good. We got a pretty good coming out this year. I mean, I think Krebsy said 26 though, right? Krebsy still.
No, he said no. October. He says it's coming out this year. October 23rd. Yeah. Altered says, other than Doom, do you see yourself playing one of the games Xbox showed today till completing the main story? Probably South of Midnight. I can see myself. Not that I'm saying I'm going to, but for your question, I can see myself playing South of Midnight to completion. I can see that. What about you, Sarge?
South of Midnight, no. The Expedition 33, yes. So I'm probably gonna try Ninja Gaiden, and definitely trying Doom.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try Doom, but I don't know if I'll.
But
I haven't played the other ones yet.
But I'll say this: if I'm getting Doom, I think I'm getting it on PC. I'm going all out. I'm gonna get full resolution. I'm gonna play it the way it's supposed to be played.
You have Ultimate, so you can get it on PC.
I don't know. I thought it's two separate accounts. I don't think it's. Nope. I thought if I
have Xbox Ultimate, you can play PC games.
I can.
Yeah.
I don't have to buy another Game Pass account. You sure?
No, Ultimate gets you on Xbox and PC. If you just want PC, then you play the $12.
But I thought call me stupid. I think I am.
You're stupid.
I thought that you had to get Ultimate on PC in order to get it for
No.
It works both ways.
It's Ultimate. You can play games on PC and console. If you just get PC Game Pass, it's only PC.
Okay. But if I get Ultimate PC, then I can get it on Xbox?
Just Ultimate. It gets you on Xbox, and Ultimate's the Ultimate package, which is both platforms.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. And the last question. Roadkill says, do you think Xbox Series S is going to get 60 frames on GTA 6 like the PlayStation Pro will? What kind of retarded question is this? You're comparing the potato to the $700 system that PlayStation has? Come on, Roadkill. We all know the answer to this, okay? Right? Why would you buy a PlayStation Pro if the Xbox Series S is going to run 60 frames per second? Right? Obviously, it might not do it day one, but if it does run 60 frames per second, it'll be way after the fact, just like every other game that they've come out with for the Series S. But to compare the Series S to the Xbox PlayStation to the PlayStation Pro, why don't you compare it then? Is the PlayStation Pro going to be as powerful as the 50 series graphics cards? I mean, what are we talking about here? It's not the same.
As far as I can, I don't acknowledge the S. I'm not sure if I stressed this out to you people before, but I don't acknowledge the potato. Right? The potato was just there in order to create a market for people to understand what digital only means, and people used to only digital, and so that's fine. But I don't expect the S to do anything but make you want to buy a different system. Like anybody who buys an S with all the new games coming out, all the S is supposed to make you do is want you to buy another system.
I think the S is a great system for kids. I think it's a great system for someone that doesn't know anything about the 60 frames and stuff like that. They just want to play games. They might notice it and go, oh, you know, your graphics are better on yours, right? Because my son will come in and look at the Xbox Series X and go, oh, that looks different, right? But for most people,
that's going to be a big one.
For most people in the world, okay, they're looking to save a buck, okay? And most people don't throw out $2,000 for a PC. Most people don't throw out $700 for a pros unit, but they will throw out $250, $300 for a gaming rig for their 2 kids, 4 kids, and have them be able to play a system so they can play video games. And for what Game Pass is, the Series S is a perfect box for stuff like that. Now, if you want a game, right? You want the actual thing. Well, then you're gonna want to buy a better system. If it's the Xbox Series X, if it's the PlayStation 5, it's the PlayStation 5 Pro, or if it's a PC with a graphics card that's much better, right? So that's the way I look at it.
Real quick though, does anybody in chat believe that when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out on whatever platform, I don't care what platform you do you think it comes out at 60 frames?
I do, but it'll run at 45. They'll say 60, it'll run at 45.
Right? Does anyone actually believe that? Does anyone actually believe that the game's going to come out at 60 frames?
They'll say 60, but it won't run 60.
That's what I'm saying, Walter. But let's be honest, though. Be honest with yourself.
Yeah, I don't think any of them will run 60. I'm praying PC day one. I don't know, Walter. It'll be the first time if they do it.
60 on the S, no shot, bro.
Look, it might get 60 on the S, but not at day one.
You think we're going to have to wait a year for optimization? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think, yeah, just like they did when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and it got better upgrade optimization once they did the first-person mode, which is, 18 months afterwards?
Grand Theft Auto 5 went through 3 console generations.
Yeah. Remember when it went from 360 to the 1, and then when it went from the 1, it went to the first-person mode or whatever it was?
Yeah, well, because they're doing the VR stuff, that's why.
Yeah, but it took 18 months to get to that point, to get to that. So if it does come out and it's running 30 frames, it's not going to run 60 frames on the S.
Buttery smooth 30.
Yeah.
Right? Buttery smooth 30, and then we're going to wait to see, right? That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, see, all turned, right. Yeah, you had to wait a year. Remember, 18 months to get 60 frames patch. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, 30 on the S, 60 on the X, 60 on the PlayStation 5, and then it'll be higher optimization for the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yeah, I do believe that the S will catch fire. I think Grand Theft Auto 6
I don't think so.
We'll set the S on fire.
Oh, you're thinking Grand Theft Auto would send the S on fire?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine.
That's what you're going to hear coming from your S.
Yeah. Which is just, it's what does that? You're like, what does that sound? It's like,
it's just the chip is just the fan can't even keep up. Just his heat melting the fan.
It's like that guy riding down the road that the belt's slipping. That's the sound of the S.
Yeah. Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
All right. That's going to do it for Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories of the past week, and we rant along the way. We're here live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You can listen to us, watch us over on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, anywhere else a podcast is listened to. You can also watch us over on Spotify. All the episodes are there. I think it's all close to all 425 episodes as of right now are there. If you're listening to us or watch us on Spotify, let me know. Give me a comment over there. Hit the, let people know. Leave a review over there, because what happens over on Spotify, it sends other people going, oh, this is a review. So if you like to listen to us in the podcast format, let people know. Give us comments over there and whatnot. I appreciate you very much. We will be back on Monday. I might stream this weekend to test out the rig, because I want to try to see if OBS, not Streamlabs OBS, but OBS. So we might do some gameplay this weekend to do some tests. So if you see me go live, it might shut down and then come back. We're going to be testing to see if I can get some good gameplay going on the PC. Other than that, appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your evening, day, or night, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those those years. Console wars and secret tips, tips and tricks from pixel trips, news that pours from gaming sips, critical